Welcome, Ultras, Switchy Sisters, and Danonites alike, to episode 41 of the weekly episodic gaming-adjacent livestream podcast show. This is Switch 2 Ultra, and it's a Tuesday night, but a little earlier, because today we're going to be covering this Nintendo Treehouse live correspondence. This is the four of us. That's our cube, the guy on the cube. I didn't realize how scratchy my throat was before I started talking, so hold on. Normally, for the most part, when it comes to directs or presentations or anything like that, we cover it after the fact. If we're going to do a reaction, we do it separately. And then we just go frame by frame. We do our analysis on the actual Switch 2 Ultra show. But then I'm your co-parent, BHultra.
And I'm your co-parent, Switchy.
He also speaks 11 languages.
And I'm your Uncle Dan.
A lot.
And what are you guys hoping to see at this Nintendo Treehouse Live for February 2026?
But just keep it.
I don't really have that many expectations. Like, I'm pretty well, I don't know. I don't really feel very strongly about the Mario 1 update. And Pokopia, like, admittedly, I'm kind of pessimistic. Some people are really big, like really confident.
The jump, I'm a lot more excited about Pokopia than either of my co-hosts, since we've talked about the show before. It actually looks like a whole lot of fun for me, but that's not until next. I mean, that comes out next Thursday, and then Wonder. We have the release date for Wonder now, right? It was in.
I'm pretty sure.
Isn't it April something? I had a whole document for this. I should have wrote it in my calendar.
Sometime in April.
Yeah.
I'm more excited for this than Pokopia. Though I expect Mother 4 to be at this presentation.
Yeah, that's why they have that box.
The new F-Zero, yeah.
Yeah, they pulled the talking flower out of it. It should be able to interact with the game. If they really want to sell us on the talking flower, I should be able to play the game with it. I hope that we at least, if it comes to seeing anything, right? Because I think we've talked about this on the show, that when it comes to directs, presentations around specific games, for the most part, I mean, we cover them for the show, but I kind of like to just experience the game as I play it. And I fear that there's not really a lot of content in the Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition. that couldn't be covered in one entire Treehouse. Again, I'm not certain on how long it goes. I remember that.
This is going to be like 20 to 40 minutes.
Yeah, around the time of
I
the
genuinely don't know.
around the time of the first Direct, I think, or like close. It was prior to the launch of the Switch 2. I remember they did Treehouses for each of the games that they had releasing that year, and I remember the Metroid Prime one was like an hour long and still only covered the beginning of the game. I feel like I didn't walk out of that knowing anything additional. But I think really all I'm hoping to see how game works for Pokopia, because I be the one person who owns Pokopia, it'd be a lot easier to talk other people into playing it, because it does seem to have some dedicated multiplayer aspects to it.
And if you know your Mario
As far as additional
gameplay,
levels
you know
in
perfectly
Mario
well
Wonder
that,
Switch 2
you gotta
Edition,
sound
I
cue when you're
don't...
getting close to the end
I'm
of
worried that we're
invisibility.
just going to see everything that there is. I mean, they're showing off Rosalina now, which is the new character.
I skipped
I'm
that.
gonna bump it
I
up.
skipped that once and regretted it very much. So, let's
The
go
wall
through.
jump badge is too. That made it too easy for you.
I did.
We're taking that away from you next time.
Yeah, no, I probably shouldn't have used that. I've used it a little bit. But if you're watching this and saying, well, hang on, man, that looks way too easy. Like, let me
Yes.
tell you,
That's
there
exactly
are
what I'm
plenty
saying.
I agree.
inside of this training camp that will absolutely make you showcase the skills. Like,
Oh,
do not
make it
I'm just
harder.
glad that there
like,
seems
think
to
that
be
this
a
isn't gonna
plethora
challenge
of
you.
single-player
Jose just made
content.
lookies.
I remember when
It's just also
got
a
this
pro.
announcement.
But speaking one of
It
those
seemed like it
that
was very
challenges,
multiplayer heavy.
We're gonna go
Yeah.
and hop over to
I
Clear
am
Course
glad
in
that it
Time,
seems like it's pretty
Rolling
hefty
Ball Hall,
single-player too.
which
Like, that
is one of
makes
those
me
courses
happy.
that
Yeah,
challenges
that
at least me
alone.
personally.
I can
quite a
tell
bit.
you guys
Start
that
saying, Ethan.
between episodes of Switch to Ultra, like on the
So I'm not
previous
the one playing
episode,
it,
it
I'm gonna be
was...
playing as Rosalina.
I think when we
And
came
this
back, it
course,
has been a
pops you
number of
into
weeks
roller
after
skates,
the release
which
of
is
Mario
your
Tennis
tuning
Fever,
Tennis
and
Fever
for that
game.
first one back, I hadn't had an
So you
opportunity
might
to
recognize
play it,
roller
so I hadn't
skate
a
from
fully
the
formed
roller skate,
opinion.
tutorial.
I feel like still I don't
Okay,
have
from, the main game.
as full of
you'll
opinion
get
I
some
have.
rollers and roller skates
Again,
in
it's
the
week
game.
one
It's
for
really
me, but I
cool
guess
to
week
see,
two for Dan.
Chris show
But
up and
also,
sort of challenge
when I came back
You
to
too.
stream,
Yes, it can be one with a roller skate.
originally what I
This
deemed
course
like, oh, all
is-
the
it's
stuff
got
I
kind of a
missed.
tight
I
timer of
realized on
40
the previous
seconds.
installment of Switch to
And if you
Ultra that there
start
actually
messing up and
were
bouncing
more
around on
Switch 2
these,
exclusives technically that I had not played.
triangle-shaped,
And of
trampolines,
course,
it
also
can really
in
eat
between
away at your
episodes,
time. So at
randomly,
this point,
I think it was announced
no
right
certainty whether I'm
after
going to make it in time.
we went off the air.
I believe.
Not a shadow drop because it was no, maybe it was the same day. A Switch 2 edition for Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. There's 2 editions in that
Oh
title.
boy, what a
Multitasking.
Yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, Switch 2 Edition. Ooh.
Yeah, so that was that Thursday release, I suppose. So in between, I have gotten caught up. I played a little bit of Mario Tennis Fever. I played my first Xenoblade in Chronicles Definitive Edition, Switch 2 Edition, and then a handful of other exclusives. And I was putting them all together because I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to place all of them because we have, I won't say a decent Switch 2 library because I wouldn't necessarily describe this as decent. But as I'm looking through it, I'm realizing we actually have more Switch 2 edition, simultaneously more Switch 2 editions than I remember, but also not as many as I thought there would be.
You're just saying I dressed like
To the point where,
why is the Virtual Boy
No,
there?
Virtual's great. It's a great energy.
is that
to
not
have.
Switch 2 exclusive?
No, you can play it on the Switch 1.
Well, then we're getting rid of it.
So
It
we'll
may be
play the
too
same
late.
course over
Pretend that's
again,
not
but now
there.
in multiplayer.
When I
We're
looked
all
into
gonna
it or
pop
looked
into
it
our
up, it said
individual
Virtual No Switch 2.
was
So
waiting my
maybe it just
turn.
called that, or maybe they just
If anyone's
separate
jealous,
them
now you
internally.
Yeah, it's confusing.
Mostly stressed. We have to do this together, right?
It's a
It is
bit
co-op.
confusing,
It is
but you
co-op,
can play it on Switch
get
1
left
because it
behind.
works with the
Fourth
original
player's got
Labo,
the
but the original
It
Labo
is co-op.
doesn't. But the original
It
Labo
is co-op.
doesn't
We do tend to
fit
take
the
it
Switch
a
2.
little
Okay.
Only fits the Switch 1.
around these parts.
All right, so I was under. Okay, that does make sense. I guess I never thought about it like that. I just assumed when they announced it, I'm like, oh, you can use the new Virtual Boy peripheral or the Labo.
Ethan, slow, Ethan.
Let me ask you then: have you gotten the physical Virtual Boy prop to play Virtual Boy
Yes,
games
I
for the
have.
Switch 2 edition?
I have.
I said I feel
suppose
pretty good about
later,
it.
uh,
Instantly got slowed down.
Intermittently
I think we
throughout.
talked about this
We can
last
still make it though. We can still
Yeah,
make
we
it.
got this.
but it's good. It's fine. I played it for like an hour, if that much, and then I haven't played it since.
Oh, okay. So there's no additional updates yet.
Wow,
Jose
easy.
saved us.
No, nothing yet.
No, I thought
We're
Daisy
probably not going to get
zoomed
anything for a
right
while. We'll see when the color is added, the extra colors. I doubt, we'll see, probably 2027.
And for the next quarter,
Save yourself a literal headache. Yeah, because it probably, dude, honestly, those like, that red color probably like really is hard on the eyes.
It's not terrible, but like, it's just like, I don't know. I feel...
Luma is what I affectionately call little sibling, though, which I'm allowed to say.
Do you have any updates on Mario Tennis Fever? Have your thoughts changed at all?
For someone in the room who maybe doesn't have, like, the
Yeah, honestly, I think this might be the best Mario Tennis game. I think the only issues I have with it are the story mode are kind of lackluster, but not like unfun, more like just, they were kind of hyping it up, but it's just lackluster. And I just, I still don't think $70 is a good price point for it, but like it is packed to the brim with things. Like it is filled. You are going to be having a lot of fun. There's like there's tech to this game.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been like quite a tech to any other Mario Tennis game quite like this.
I feel like when I was playing it, I was obviously the story mode for, I don't know how long or I guess we'll call it the campaign, how long the campaign actually is. I never made it out of the academy, but I think that, is the entire campaign just the academy?
No. So that none of us
okay. Well, that's where I left off then. And I think I was at the tail end, like the tournament part of it. And as they're teaching me, you're right, like they're, to simplify it, like different shots tied to the X button, the B button, and the A button. And then there are individual pressure points for those buttons, like if you hold it, or if you press it twice, or if you angle it a certain way. And as I'm doing this, like I'm retaining what they're telling me, but I still feel like for the most part I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna hit the buttons and shoot it in the direction. It's one of those things that when I go back to it every week, I feel like I won't be able to properly use what I've learned. But I think because of that, it is a very low barrier of entry, but it's like Smash Bros. Or Kirby. Like, anyone can play it, but very few can be good at it.
Yeah, it's one of those easy to learn, hard to master things. Have you switched the lob and drop shot to buttons instead of button combos?
No, because I don't find it that invasive. Like, for them to prompt me and say, hey, you need to do 3 of these, that's fine. Like, then you just do the combo. I haven't found... I guess for me, like, I haven't hit a proper difficulty spike at all, or a moment in the game where I'm like, oh man, I gotta reassess this a little bit.
Adventure mode is not really that difficult, but like, there's some stuff later on down the line that like, it can get pretty crazy. Like, it can get pretty, like, intense. So I think especially when I go for all the characters and all the medals.
Yeah, I was looking at that, the list of achievements or the list of milestones and how to get the... I'll be honest, a little disappointed in the arena representation, that there's only like, I think like 8 or so that you can unlock in comparison to all the rackets and characters, or maybe they just didn't list all of them. But granted, that is just in comparison. Like, I'd be hard pressed to actually... I know that on the courses, some of them, they don't control differently, but it does change the game. Like, if you're playing on grass, playing on clay, playing on dirt, it does change how the game is played. But I'd be hard pressed to be like, oh man, I wish they added like 10 more courses. That's, I won't say artificial, but it's just in comparison to rackets and characters, it seems a lot smaller. But I don't think that... Well, I don't know. I was about to say that, like, oh, the courses, the stages aren't the most important part of a game like this, but in tennis they kind of are.
I know, this one's actually kind of hard.
I think... how many have you unlocked so far?
I haven't. I think I've just unlocked the training ones, but then, like, you can check the unlocks, and it says, like, oh, you do this to unlock this one.
You can do that.
Yeah, and there's only, like, 6 other stages, to my knowledge. Maybe there's ones that they don't show you.
There's, like, 8 in total.
Yeah.
But, like, I think, like, there are enough, like, fun party stages that I'm satiated. Like, I think that there's a good amount of, like, what they have, and there's some fun gimmicks to them as well.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but I think that there's some good stuff to those, particularly. And also, you can kind of, like, Final Destination them, where you can still play on those and then turn off the gimmicks, so you can just play with those without any of the gimmicks that they provide. So it's interesting to have that option as well.
Yeah. Oh, I was just noted that he's using the mouse controls to place everything. We're actually seeing it in action.
Yo, we're back. New Super Mario Bros. U, we're back.
We're tying them all together.
Yeah, it's not all about.
Okay, well, it took me a while, but I got rid of that.
Sometimes you also
That
have to interact with the environment a little bit to help us progress. Like
it
in this case,
seems
if you wanna get that,
Mario Tennis
extra
Fever.
level, though,
The
water
closest
down there,
comparison
we'll
is
make it real hard
a
to
modern Mario Party game, where it does have single-player content. I would argue that this is like more dedicated because it has an actual. It feels a little nostalgic because it is a Camelot story mode that I never played the other Mario Tennis, Mario Golf games. That's why earlier when you said like, oh, this is the objectively the, or not objectively, but just like this is probably the best Mario Tennis game ever. I was thinking like that's probably not you know, no offense to them, but not that high of a bar. That I know people feel very strongly about the GameCube ones, but I always equated that to just like, oh, that's the one you played growing up.
I think that's like a similar phenomenon to, you know, when everyone says that like the best Mario Party games were like 4, 5, and 6 or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
but
could be wrong though.
in comparison to Mario Party, it has like a little single player mode. You know, if you buy the game, that you can get enjoyment out of it, and there are side modes, a lot of like fun mini games that can be fun for a little bit. But the main beef is what's on the tin, is the Mario Tennis or the Mario Party.
It's a little bit chaotic when you're. I think for both sides, it's a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like,
I was having a great time.
yes, there's some nostalgia playing into it, but also I think in regards to tennis specifically, I think
Oh yeah, it was me. Okay, fine. I'm sorry.
the GameCube
next one
one
we're gonna
was
play is
the
right
best
next door
one. That
at
was the
Lookout
standard
Bob
for a
on
while.
Relay, which just like the name implies,
Also, just
we're
because we
going to
didn't
be
really have that many
passing
options. I mean, there
the
wasn't
ball
anything
back
on
and
Wii.
forth and trying to
There
make it
wasn't
to the
anything.
end
There was
of
something
the
on
court.
Wii U that was just
Of course, we're
objectively
gonna play
terrible.
hot, hot,
Right.
And,
But
you
if
know,
that didn't exist, would we be here today? Because like Aces was built on top of that game, and now it feels like Fever is built on top of Aces. So I should hope
100%,
that
because the big thing with Aces was that, like, oh, you know, you're doing slow and it's like, oh, you're gonna get this power shot, and that was the big thing. And Fever took that and it still has that, but now it has the addition of the rackets.
Yeah.
Which again, you know, adds to the whole technique. Like there's like technique, there's like rankings to the characters and the rackets. Like there's
Do you think we're gonna see Elephant Rosalina in this treehouse?
Oh please, oh god.
Going triple
what's his name?
platinum.
Which is nice.
Daisy.
Toad? Who are you talking about?
No, the guy, the elephant guy, Zach Scott Gaming or something.
Oh, shout out.
That kind of stops when someone's holding it. Okay, pass it back this way.
God, I can only imagine
nope.
how we must be feeling.
I remember
Daisy right now.
there it's also like saved you a click gaming that was really like going before likes were, before you couldn't see people's likes.
God, I
It was
miss
like all like
Yeah.
Daisy porn and shit.
Yeah, and I
I
remember
miss
when
that.
the
I miss
Elephant Daisy
likes.
thing happened, somebody, the quote sticks with me to this day. Somebody said like, oh, it must have been buckets for this guy. And I've never been able to not think about that every time.
I miss likes specifically for that, because it's like you have this guy who's doing his job, like, oh my god.
Yeah, because it doesn't interfere with the clicking at all. It just is a little
It doesn't.
idiosyncrasy.
It doesn't. I respect him so much. I respect Save
Yeah.
Your Click so much, and I wish that there was like an extension to get likes back so I could see what he's liking, because I miss it so much.
I think there was a trend on the internet of the late 10s and maybe a little bit early 20s of people that would make full video. I guess it's more like mid 2010s, you know, of the like the cancer era or whatever, that people would make full videos going to DeviantArt and being like, dude, look at all this weird fetish stuff. It's like, yeah, man, you're on the weird fetish website. What did you expect? That now it's a lot more. Well, not that much has changed, because it's a very like childish mindset that I respect anyone that is just proudly into whatever they are into.
I don't mean to change topic, but since you originally brought up the Xenoblade thing, did you
Yes.
hear about what happened with that?
No badge.
No, well, I guess I don't know
Giving out
what happened
refunds
means.
for it.
Yeah, people are.
Oh,
pissed.
really?
Nintendo's actually giving out refunds. Yeah.
Oh wow! I mean,
basically-
I have nothing to
I think
compare it to, but yeah, what
It
happened?
started because someone emailed support and said, "Hey, I spent $5 on this game because it promised to make Xenoblade look better, but it doesn't. It looks worse." Because I think it's just getting a lot of critique for the upscaling, like the anti-aliasing and shit is bad. I'm not super well versed on like what the specific complaints are, just because I don't know. I'm not super picky about that, but I guess a lot of these upscaled games, they're kind of cheaply upscaling the games, and I think it just doesn't really look good in Xenoblade's case. So people are just complaining to the extent that I don't know. I guess Nintendo. I don't know. I mean, the fact that Nintendo is willing to give refunds is kind of crazy. I don't know. Like,
Well,
honestly,
I think
I think about it, the more
honestly,
significant that is.
Wow.
It's because, honestly, for the most part, they haven't been actually that terrible with the upscaling. Like, Blade's case, it actively looks worse because it's an effective, it's called Van Gogh effect.
Okay.
And that's what's happening with the Switch 2 edition, where, yes, it's upscaled, but
It's like smeared.
yeah, it's smeared.
Okay.
It looks like someone rubbed Vaseline all over, not the camera, like the models look fine and everything like that looks fine, but like if you actually look at like the landscape and like everything looks smeared. Like it looks like Vaseline was smeared all over that stuff, and it's just like
Interesting.
I've heard that argument for Wind Waker HD, that there are people that prefer to play the GameCube version because the Wii U version isn't just like, oh, the game in widescreen HD. It leans very heavily on the light bloom and cell shadedness of it
Yeah.
to make it really
Sure.
sad. Because for other, I mean, as we see from all of the Switch 2 releases, in comparison to other Switch 2 editions, like even the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom ones that are primarily just to make it run better, they have small features. They have additional, that it seems like is the only benefit or the only change, the only new content for Xenoblade Definitive Edition, Switch 2 Edition. Is it just a graphical upgrade? Does it add any quality of life
visual.
changes? Okay, then yeah, I can understand that
I wasn't
criticism.
sure myself, but I think that that's the case.
But that's strange. I guess it's different because they do need to like actually go into it to change it in comparison to like Scarlet and Violet that just got a performance boost, and Smash Ultimate also got a performance boost. In retrospect, it is weird that it's a Switch 2 edition and was sort of. Was it Shadow? I mean, Shadow Dropped implies it had no announcement whatsoever, which isn't true.
It came out of nowhere, basically.
Yeah.
And you couldn't read anything?
For Xenoblade or for Smash?
No, for Smash.
Yeah, it started loading a lot better. That the little like matchup screen where it shows like this person versus this person, it would be like a fourth of a second. It would show up and then go away really quickly because the match loaded so fast. Which I guess a testament for how much better it runs.
What the debuffs were, and you couldn't read that because it was
Yeah,
like a
you don't get
second,
those tip
not even.
screens anymore.
We're going to do Battle Royale.
It's so funny.
Mm-hmm. That
drop down countdown lifts is our course.
Again, like you can't put Nintendo in a box and say like, well, now that they've done this, they can't do this. The thought process of like, it's kind of a shame. Not that I'm a huge Xenoblade fan because again, first Xenoblade, but sort of a shame that this game, Chronicles Definitive Edition, now has its Switch 2 edition, and likely, it's not going to get another Switch 2 edition, so any possible updates or quality of life changes aren't going to happen. I say that, but that doesn't apply to that random Pikmin update we got last year. So it's possible it could just get more updates anyway. And adding Dixie Kong to that game.
I was just saying, maybe in a year we'll get it, and then maybe they'll add Dixie Kong to it.
Because looking back, looking present, looking forward as far as Switch 2 editions go, I thought that it would be a series that they would release throughout the lifespan of the Switch 2. And they still might with like newer releases, but if the goal for fans or any sort of completion is every Switch game made by Nintendo getting a Switch 2 edition. We've gotten 2 so far this year. Was Animal Crossing and Xenoblade, right? Is there one I'm missing?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're going to get Wonder. Yeah.
Right at the end.
That it seems like there's one each month, which is more than ports of GameCube games to Nintendo Switch Online.
Thank you. Good job to you guys all as well.
Yeah. I mean, if you count like third-party stuff too, that also is crazy too. Because getting Switch 2 versions of apparently the Fallout 4 Switch 2 version is actually pretty good. I'm still not gonna get it because the fact that like we're using that as a basis is like ridiculous. But I've heard it actually runs pretty well. It looks very good on Switch 2, and it's cool. I'm glad for it. Just, I'm glad that we're getting these options.
Yeah, we've mainly been focusing on games from Nintendo because for me the purpose of buying a Nintendo console is to play Nintendo games. But I think around this, if not the exact day, next week is the release of Resident Evil 9. And that was, it seemingly like their big third-party game. That this game is also going to be on the Switch 2 alongside these other major consoles and even Steam. Didn't they say there was going to be an amiibo as well? Did we hear anything more about that?
I think so. I don't remember.
Yeah, because that game comes out next week.
It's
It's gonna be a big couple, like 8 days, because obviously we have the Pokemon Presents on Friday, and I guess we could. That's over here. Nope, here. There we go. Pokemon Presents, February 27th. And initially, before we learned about this Treehouse, this episode was just mostly going to be us going over this Pokemon Presents, what we expect to see there, and it seems like,
here come the Hoppos
in my opinion, something probably got leaked out and thus had to be announced ahead of time, because you guys may have seen or may have heard, while this is playing the Treehouse in the background, that, yeah, this was the first glimpse that Fire Red and Leaf Green started appearing on the eShop just randomly. To the point where people early on in the first like hour of this happening and going viral thought that it was like a scam. Thought that like a third-party company was placing these, and it just got past checks. And then very quickly after, like, I think the next morning or maybe the same night.
No, it was at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, just the games by themselves were announced to be coming to eShop. Yeah, on the 28th of February, which is the day after the Presents. I thought it was going to be the day of the Presents.
Yeah, I think it's the 27th.
Yeah.
It was the 27th.
Well, I mean, this is Nintendo's web.
It wasn't even leaked. It was just there. Someone found it. Like, they put it on, and it's just like...
Right.
I pre-ordered it. Like, you can pre-order that
Yeah,
game
at first I was like, okay, maybe this accidentally got put on the eShop too early, and then they had to announce it. But then within the same day, like, the music got added to Nintendo Music. So, like, I really don't know. But I get the feeling, because it's the same day as the Presents, that it was supposed to be a Pokemon Presents announcement. That they would be like, and you can play it on the Switch now.
I made it eventually.
And then they just very quickly, whatever trailer was going to be in the Presents, they just posted publicly. Which is the trailer we saw.
Both.
That's really funny, because it's just like...
and that's it for Boing Boing.
Honestly,
Race.
you know,
That's also the last
I mean,
that we're going to show you.
what's your
Game
take
Room
on
Plaza
this?
For now, but there's lots more there.
Like, the games by themselves. Well, granted, like, it leaking out, I don't think that was going to be the big announcement of Pokemon Presents anyway. I think it was going to be one of many announcements.
Like, are they that washed? Like, oh yeah, our big.
Yeah, that was their one more thing, and now it's
guys, we're
ruined.
saving the best for last. Pokemon Sleep 2.
Ooh. Oh yeah, there was that Mario face game that released for the Switch as well. I forgot about that. Wait, I gotta turn this up. This is important.
Well, that kind of like was a soft release because you can. I had that game for a while actually.
Oh, okay.
Like, that game was in Japan for a while, so if you had a Japanese account, you could get it.
I see. They had to test it to make sure it was ready for American audiences.
Yeah. Basically.
Man, imagine having this job.
Oh, is that?
All right, we'll be right back. The
I guess that's it
Treehouse.
for Mario.
Okay, well, we saw the talking flower. This may be... I mean, we are 30 minutes in. This may be faster than we thought. I imagine the next half hour is going to be dedicated to Pokopia. This affords us some time to...
What do you think about this whole, like, $20 thing, just the ROM thing? You know, all that jazz.
It's... Here's my thing, is that... I mean, I'm not going to get it because I already have it, right? Like, if I want to play... Oh, we are here. Entirely different crew. If I want to play Fire Red and Leaf Green, I'm going to play the Game Boy Advance games, right? I have, and if I don't want to play the Game Boy Advance games, I'll play it on my computer. I know that's really a non-argument for like, well, why would I buy this game when I could just emulate? But specifically, Game Boy Advance games are like so easy to run on anything. People are playing it on their phones.
I get.
It's not like PlayStation where it's like really annoying, at least in my opinion, to emulate those games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two components that we're going to touch
I mean,
in,
Or like, oh, why would I
today.
play?
So we're
Why
gonna
would I
start
pay
with
for
the
these
single player,
GameCube games when I could just
area.
play them
So
on my
this is
Steam
where
Deck? It's like, well, it's
everybody will
clearly
start
not.
with
Well,
at the
you weren't
beginning
gonna
of the
buy it
game.
anyway then.
And as you can see right now, the
No, I mean
world
my
is
two
pretty
cents is
barren.
like
It's kinda-
people are adults
kinda
and they can
dry.
spend their
There's
money
some
however they want.
greenery,
Yeah.
and
Like,
that's
I don't know why
because
we're
we've
shaming
already
people for
played
buying
a little
this.
bit, and
but
advanced
like,
into
I mean, if
the
I didn't
game.
have the games, I
But
would
the
have bought
story
them on
starts
Switch.
off
I just
where
have no
you,
desire to because I
show up
already
in
have
this
them.
area or this
right, and I
world,
I never
which
actually
is
owned Fire Red
pretty
Leaf Green,
desolate.
so I
It
did
used to
pre-order
be
Fire
populated
Red.
with
Nice.
Pokemon and humans,
I just-
but
That's
you
the
know,
superior version.
disappeared. And so
get
as
the
you're
argument
rebuilding
of
this
you can always
world,
play it on your
the
phone
Pokemon will start
because
showing
it's
up.
just
So,
not fun to
as you
play
can
games
see,
on your phone.
Charmander's
Yeah.
I never think it's
the
fun,
source.
especially emulate
Pokemon I
games.
can
It's like-
do. I mean, it depends on the game for me, but I can do Pokemon.
Yeah. Well, I've
Every
never
game
been
is
one to
on
like
my
have
phone.
games on my phone. Like I do
Yeah.
Sudoku sometimes, and I got Pokemon
as
Go
you
still.
start
But
this
like,
Oh, dude, I fuck
First,
Goku up when I'm on
those are
planes.
like-
is Professor Tank.
Those are games
They are
like
essential,
built for that, like a pick up
Yeah.
and play kind of thing,
guiding
like
star
a,
to the
that kind of thing.
player,
Like the only
because
full-on
they
game
will
I ever
give
played on my
you
phone
tips,
was the first Ace Attorney
on
Investigations game because I didn't want to
not
shell out like
instruction, but more
$70
like
for
guidance on
a DS
whether
cartridge.
you're
Yeah.
lost, you
I
don't
just
know
played
what to do
that.
next, or if you have a
but
question about
it's
a
just-
certain something. So, super
You know, and they're like, oh well, you know, if it's a controller issue, just
and as
use
you
a
start through the
Bluetooth
story
controller.
too,
It's like,
you'll also
Yeah.
be
do you know how
customizing
cumbersome it is
your
to use
Ditto
a
character. So,
phone with
we'll
a
go through
Bluetooth
the menu
controller?
of
Like,
what that looks
what are we at
As
this
you can
point?
see, I
these
some of what
ROMs
Ditto,
on their own on the
can do.
eShop, or just
So,
not releasing
because
them at
I
all
have
because
at
it
least
seems
those
like they don't want to play
three
ball with the Nintendo Switch
Pokemon
Online
here,
service.
two
Then
of
I
them
guess
are
this
able
is
to give me
better.
two abilities
It's
that I'm able to transfer
I
and
think
use.
the
So,
issue I have is that
and leafage. So why don't we show
this
how that
feels a little
works.
bit
So with water
like
gun,
it's
you can
going
see
to
that
be
it
a
has
Metroid Prime
cross-pattern.
Remastered
So it means
situation.
that,
where
anything within that
they
cross
release
pattern will
like
get water.
one in a
I love how
you
when
know
you
in
do
a
that, this
franchise
little
of
shell
several
pop up
famous
on your back
games,
'cause you're
and then
transforming
people are
your
like,
little
oh,
scroll.
okay, well now we just gotta wait
Yeah.
for them to
Yeah,
put the
so
next
that
ones on.
specific
I hope they
ability
do the
or-
original Game Boy
blue,
games, or
violet,
maybe
green,
even
orange,
Emerald, or like start
squirtle.
doing DS
And
games.
I
I
created
fear
a
this is gonna
habitat
be
that I
the
didn't
only
know
one,
before.
and I
So
don't know
these are
why
made with 4 different
they would do
flowers that are
that,
connected
but
together.
to me
And you can see
specifically, the
also
fact that
there's
we also
6
know it's
Pokemon
coming
that
out with
can
this special
appear in
edition
this habitat.
where they
So
all
you'll
have
also see that there's some certain
translucent
conditions.
glowing.
So for example, this one
These look
has
like those
time.
props. I don't remember if I got it
This one
from Loot
also
Crate or
has
if I
time
bought
as
it from
well,
like the
which is
Nintendo store or
nighttime.
whatever.
So that
It was a little
means,
platform and you hit a
this
button
game
and it's a
does
rupee that
support
glows
real-time
and it was like
clocks. So
cheap
whatever is set
plastic.
in your system,
This reads
that
to me
will
like
mirror
that.
within
I mean, the
game
cases are
itself. So if
cool.
it's nighttime,
Especially with the
then
little
it's going to be
Game Boy
nighttime in
Advance
the game, and that means that you'll have a chance
I
to
do like
encounter
that.
other
wireless
I think that's
Pokemon
cool.
John
in
there,
this
but
habitat that you
the
have
fact that
created.
they're doing
Also,
this
like
much,
Habitat's already habit-
yeah, the fact that they're
inhabited by
doing
another
this much
Pokemon,
just
that
for
won't
like
count. You'll have to create a new
specifically Fire Red and Leaf Green seems to me like they don't plan on, at least in the interim, releasing any more Pokemon ROMs on the eShop like this. Maybe in a different year, but it seems like the big anniversary game for, or not big anniversary game, but the anniversary ROM for their, was it the 30th anniversary, is going to be Fire Red and Leaf Green for some reason. I think the appeal,
Kanto or some shit.
yeah,
Um,
but then still,
I don't
like,
know.
why
I
not
think
the Game Boy
Finding
games? It's
when I was
weird.
playing this, that I created
I think I disagree. First of all, in that regard, for that thing, it's like, why would you want to play the Game Boy games over the Game Boy Advance games? I just think, like, I went back to go through the Game Boy games recently because I had blue and yellow on my 3DS, and it's like, wait a second, I'm not having fun.
Right.
This isn't fun.
It's kind of like
And it's
Melee,
just like,
where
why would-
those
I-
games are really fun to break because they're very busted. Like, you can make the most broken team very easily in the Game Boy games.
So
just
you
with
want
exploits.
food in order to replenish.
Yeah,
so
and I
you
mean,
have to
it's
have
just
some
like I don't
berries
know.
on those trees.
That would be a
I'll
waste
go
of
ahead
time and
and
money
pick
to
them up.
re-release those personally, and
And then I'm gonna open
but I
up the
also
inventory,
don't think
and you
this
can
is
see
it.
all the
Every game
inventory
is Animal
housed
Crossing
inside
now.
of Ditto, which
Releases
is really
coming out in
fun.
regards to the sequels, you know,
There are transform Pokemon.
gold,
after all.
silver.
So
I'm
we're gonna
worried.
eat
The
some
only thing I'm
food.
worried about,
And as you can see, that blue.
you know, if they do go down the gold, silver instead of heart
This
gold,
game
soul,
has so many
silver,
of those little details
is that
just are so much
except
fun
for
to
like the
find, too.
3DS
Uh-huh,
when they did it, is
sure.
that they for some reason never ever do
Since
the
we're
third
here,
release, and that
let's
bothers
talk
me because the third
about,
release is typically
another
like
activity that you can do,
Better.
best release in my
which is
opinion.
crafting.
Yeah.
Like,
So
I mean,
crafting
you can
is done
argue all
through
you
the
want, but
workbench.
easily
We have
platinum
one
is better
placed
than
here,
Diamond and Pearl.
but
Like
you
Oh,
can
of course.
easily,
craft
it is
more,
the
so
best
then
of the
you can
three.
place them around
What
the
do
floor.
Ruby and
Uh,
Sapphire
And you can
have
see
that
right now
Emerald
we have
don't?
pretty limited
Like-
amount of items
Yeah,
that
I
we
mean,
You know?
honestly,
create.
it's
Well,
Um,
actually, you know, for what it's worth, you can't get Mareep in Crystal. I remember playing Crystal and I wanted a Mareep on my team. I found out you could only get it in gold. It kind of pissed me off. Or either just gold and silver.
Go to your favorite
yeah.
spot.
I mean, there's
You
like
can sort
there's
them in different
Pokemon,
ways.
yeah, like that you can't
And
get,
then
I
towards
think,
the
but
right,
like
let's just say that
I just think
I want to
it's
craft
the best
campfire.
of the
On the
like
right side,
9
you'll
out of
see
10
underneath
times
the
it's the best of the
label, there's
three.
nothing in your
Like you're not gonna
inventory.
go wrong with the third
And
option.
it has a relaxation.
And I
kind of
think
category,
that
which we'll
we
talk
need to
about a
like
little bit
they need to
later.
wake up and
then
realize that
also
like
the
we would
items that
you know
need in order to
I'd pay
craft it.
money
So owned,
for
which
a
is how many I
platinum
have in my inventory, and needed.
re-release if it was well
And then my
adjusted
favorite is
for
that as
the
long as you
Switch.
have
Like if
enough,
they were able to
items
integrate the
to
DS
craft it,
stuff in
you
a
can
way
create
that wasn't like annoying.
Not once.
'Cause-
Well, do you think they're
Sadly,
gonna
yeah.
port more older Pokemon games to the eShop?
And the items you craft can also be used to habitats. So it's not just
mainline.
limited to, like,
I think
the
they're
patches
pretty
of
much
grass and
confirmed at
trees.
this point that they're not going to
also
release any mainline Pokemon games
Correct.
Looks like
on
we have a visitor
NSO.
there.
So I think at this point we're going to be getting
Just because it just that's what kind of frustrates me is that it's like okay like if there's any franchise that could do that like get away with that it's Pokemon, you know what I mean? Because like
Yeah.
every other Nintendo first party like is part of the
Pokemon
service,
Utopia,
but
if you've never
I don't know.
played a Pokemon game,
Well, like I never
I mean,
fully understood
yeah.
what is the
and
like
don't really
relationship
know
with the
much
Pokemon
about
company and
Pokemon, this
Nintendo.
is
They
a
just like
great,
own a large stock of
entryway-
it, right?
Entry into the franchise.
And they have
I'm
a
not totally
a
sure.
gentleman's
I-
agreement to
I-
release them exclusively on Nintendo consoles.
I have no idea. It's like a Nintendo.
I assume they're more tied together than that.
Probably, yeah.
Pokemon
Like
is,
second
what
party
type
or something.
they
I don't know.
are,
It's weird.
'Cause
the
we've
habitats
seen
that they like, time and weather.
games
So we had talked
when
about
when
how
it comes
time is
to
tied to the real-time
NES or
clock
Super Nintendo
system.
games that people
Weather is
think
specifically
fit
within
those
the game,
consoles
not in the real
that
world.
haven't been
So,
on NSO
this
because
kinda
companies like
shows up
Konami or
randomly
Capcom
throughout
wanted
the
to make
game.
their own
But it will
collections
be a factor
and sell
in
them
terms
for
of how
full on
you
the
encounter
eShop.
certain
That's a little
Pokemon as
different
well.
because they're an
The last
additional
one, the
degree separated than
specialties,
something like
ideal
Pokemon.
habitat
But
favorites, which we'll talk about.
I mean, ideally, we just have. I've said this before. I like the idea, even if I don't necessarily buy re-releases, of just every game
And as you
eventually
play
being
through the
playable
game,
on the
these
Switch
little
family of
different things
systems.
that you keep
Just
doing,
having
you
it be
keep
the
getting
perfect
rewarded,
video game
which is so
console, at least the
satisfying
perfect
in this
Nintendo
game.
console.
To
I
get a recipe
maybe
for
this is
bird
optimistic,
box.
but I
Which is really
assume
good.
that selling
Come in
them
handy later for sure.
on their own on the eShop is also maybe
So
so
it's
they
like
can
they're
add
like a little
Pokemon
bit of a
Home
request
connectivity
for
to
it.
them, and then
Right.
eventually
Yeah, I think
So,
that's it too.
I kind of rushed through
getting
really
all
quickly,
of the
but we might
GBA,
encounter
maybe
another
even
one
DS,
here
3DS,
later, but
Game
whenever
Boy
Pokemon have,
games
like,
on
a
the eShop
permanent
so you
kind
can
of
get them,
bubble
but
over
I
their
don't.
heads, you definitely want to prioritize
I guess starting with
those
Fire Red
because
and Leaf
that
Green
could
makes
potentially not
sense,
only
but I
progress
don't
the
know
story,
if the
but
plan
also
is to
give
have all
you
of them on the
something that
eShop
you
with
might need that you don't currently
what
have
pattern it's going to
progress,
take and
or even
how
to create something.
consistently they're going to
Here,
place them on the
it's
eShop.
to teach cut. It's a very,
Sorry, what'd you
very
say?
handy move.
Like, I don't know how consistently, if they are going to, what the timeline of events for putting them on the eShop would be. Like, if it's going to be, like, one a year, if they're going to do it more consistently,
Now
if they're
it's
even
test
going to have
two
more games on
series.
the eShop.
Luck
I'd
here.
say one a year if that. Like I feel like
Look, what are you talking about?
it's not going to be a way that
I know you're gonna have to
makes sense
use
for like the
I've
the
been
part of your
studying
mind that
series
thinks they'd want
Yeah,
they'd want to
so
do it all
that is
timely
very
and
useful in
consistently or
terms of
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Break
Well,
They're
by the
pretty bad
argument
at
of,
this,
of the
um,
Game Boy games, like, oh,
material,
why
like,
would you rather play the
he is
Game Boy
alluding
games? It's like,
to,
well, then just, like,
I
have
want
them on
to-
NSO. Like, if we're going to draw the line and say,
Yeah.
like, the Game Boy Advance games are much better,
So as
then
you're,
here's the thing, though. That could still happen. Like, we only know about Fire Red and Leaf Green because
even though I've
it may have
created this
accidentally
grass
been announced
environment,
ahead of
would
the
you want to
Presents.
keep
It's
cut this
possible that they
grass?
announce it at the
Because
Pokemon
this is the
Presents,
way that
and then
I'm able
also
to
announce that
get,
the Game Boy games are
certain
going to be coming to
materials.
Game
So here's
Boy
a leaf.
online.
I
And
showed
that just
about
hasn't happened
picking
yet
up
because we haven't seen the
each item
announcement.
one at a time.
Well, I was gonna
This
say,
is
I wouldn't be
also
shocked
able
if
to
another announcement is
pick
they're
up
just shadow
multiple
releasing
items at once
Pokemon
by
Coliseum and
healing.
maybe
So if I
XD
hold
Gale
the
of
Y
Darkness.
button,
Ooh, that'd be
it doesn't
lit.
actually suck
Definitely
hope so.
Coliseum. They could be doing
Feel
both
like
at the
me, I
same
like to collect
time,
all the
but
things. Like, it comes in really,
you know,
really handy.
at the very least, I would be shocked if they weren't like also
So we talked about
Pokemon Coliseum
building
is out right
habitats,
now
but
or
another
very
thing that you can
soon.
build is using
Are there any Pokemon spin-offs on Nintendo Switch Online?
Center PC,
Yes.
which we'll show
Yeah, there's the
in a little
stadium
bit.
games.
But I'm gonna place
Okay.
this, building kit
There's there's those two
and
GameCube games.
so
I
They have
keep forgetting
Mystery
Pokemon
Dungeon too,
Snap
right?
to build
is-
these building kits, you'll interact
They
with this
do,
box that's
but they
right
also have
here
the
in front,
deluxe
but you'll
version,
also need
technically.
the help of certain Pokemon in order to
That was
build
Yeah, they
weird
have
in
Pokemon Mystery
retrospect.
It's
Dungeon.
important though about
That was
why
weird. I don't think anyone. I've never
that
seen
is
anyone talk
because
about that
They
game.
have a specialty called build,
But
and that is
I always
important
forget
in
if
order to
Pokemon Snap
actually
is on an
interact
SO.
and
I think it is, but
Yes.
sometimes I think it's not.
I
So,
believe
and
it
then
is.
when you
I
interact
think there's
with
also
the box in front
Pokemon
of
Wonderful.
Puzzle League.
the building kit,
right?
it'll tell you
Yeah,
what
it's Hey You
I think-
Pikachu that
yeah,
is
now that I think
because
about
of
it,
the
I feel like
peripheral.
Pokemon Puzzle League being there rings a bell.
shows we need 3.
That was like the
Um,
first
Hey
one they
Pikachu,
added.
they're probably not gonna add.
Yeah.
Because it's bad.
Well, now they have a built-in microphone for the Switch too.
Put each one
Right.
individually.
Was
Well,
the
now when are they adding Pokemon TV?
Plus to just put everything in.
They
at
should have the
once.
Jirachi disc. If we really want to have it be
Specifically
immersive.
Timber and
Because
Charmander
it was the
to help
mouse
build this. So
capabilities
let's go talk to
when
them.
they
So Charmander's right
one of
here.
the
Sorry,
small
Bulbasaur.
like
I know you
minor
wanna break
amongst
it, but-
larger game announcement releases
focus.
moments last year is when Mario
So, when
Paint
you
came to
talk
Nintendo
to
Switch
a
Online,
Pokemon,
but if
there's
you
this
had
option
the
called
Switch 2, you
Follow
could
Me,
use the mouse
which will
controls.
have the
I see
Pokemon
it's
follow you for
possible
an
that we
activity. So
could
you wanna
get
go on an
like
adventure
Hey You
with them, or you
Pikachu,
want
and
them
then
to
if you
do
have
something
the
specific for
camera
you.
peripheral, although that's a little different because that's
back
sold
to the
separately
site.
as opposed to just having a Switch 2, you have a
And
Joy-Con.
then
Like that's baked
Timber.
into the
So
console.
another way that you can have Pokemon follow you.
But I've
is
said
that if you
before that
press
the
up on
only
plus
the
control
major
pad
Nintendo
thing,
games that are missing from
Nintendo
NES and Super
Switch 2 Pro
Nintendo are
controller,
just the peripheral games,
it'll do
mostly
this
the
emote,
Zapper games.
and
And
that
I
will
feel like
have
that's
the
really
Pokemon
easy
follow
to
you.
replicate
So right now I have 2.
with
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't
the
done it
mouse.
yet.
Have,
Honestly,
Yeah.
like
Even without the mouse, just
Yeah.
like
They did
pointing
it
the
with the
Joy-Con
Wii
at the
remote,
screen.
too.
Yeah.
I remember I got Duck Hunt on the
With
Wii
Duck
U.
Hunt, yeah. I
was
love
lit.
that game actually plays really well. It just sucks that it was a Wii U virtual console game, so it was like
Right,
impossible
so we're
to
gonna
see.
start building this leaf
So,
then. And
yeah.
it does also.
If they
I'm so glad they
do
dropped that
real-time
dark tint.
clock,
It was so
in
bad.
about 15 minutes,
They
this
do
building will
eventually
be built.
add DS games to
Not all
eShop. How do you
buildings
think
will
they
take
would do
that
it?
amount of time, so just
I
to be
genuinely
aware
don't
of
know.
that.
I'm not gonna lie. I know people said it was good, but like I never
have this
liked
path,
the
so we
Wii
don't have to
U's
go around,
implementation
but
of
I do
DS
wanna
games.
talk to
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a
Steve
bit
here.
cumbersome.
Please, sir.
So I don't know if
ma'am.
it would work without a peripheral, and that scares me.
So,
Yeah, I kind of have my
In the
doubts still
second
ever do.
screen.
Okay, here we
Yeah.
go. So with the small objects,
And the thing is, I think that like
you can give these to
there's incentive to, but I
Scyther
just
has
doubt they
a
could like make it
specialty
work, or
besides
maybe they
the
will do
kind
like
of
some
ability
crazy
from
like second
Scyther,
screen thing that you
we're
have to
able
buy.
to also
But I
give
think
them,
it's going to be really
the mod
cumbersome.
in order to
Yeah,
create
I think that's
lumber.
too much of a high
Lumber
bar
is
even for
another
them.
great
Like they could
material
sell
for
like
you to use in
Pokeball-shaped
terms of crafting.
peripherals, but
So,
I didn't-
Doesn't really have a gimmick
but
attached
before
to
we
it,
do,
I
I want
guess.
to go here.
I mean, it had
because
So-
a
Lindsay had
microphone,
mentioned
but
about
that was only
had a
really
handle.
not
for
just natural
Mario Party.
environments for habitats, but there's
Right.
also
It had the lunchbox handle.
habitats that you can
It
create
did
Oh yeah,
have
so
the
it's
lunchbox.
portable.
Well, that's
You could take it with you wherever you wanted.
So
It
it's
can
just sort of
find
like,
habitats through discovery.
you know,
as you
it's
progress
I
through
don't
the
know. It just
story.
seems like
There'll
it's
also be these little shiny environments.
this
in
might
the
be it for
world,
NSO. Then again, they
as
did
you
Virtual
inspect
Boy,
them,
so maybe they'll
these
do
Pokemon traces,
Game and
you'll
Watch for an
automatically
extra
log information
Yeah.
about
$20.
Actually, you know, I don't know if you said that as a joke, but I could see them
as
like
well as the
implementing
habitat
Game and
that
Watch
is
somehow.
needed in
I mean,
order to
there's
do
no
that, like,
proper
Ace
like
Tier.
library
I
of
don't have
all
an
of them,
issue
so
with
that would
that.
be pretty sick
I'm not
actually.
able to create a punching
Although-
There
bag.
isn't. I
It's
thought
Sure, I have
it might have been like a
no
GBA game or something.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's like
Even though
compilations. I
it's
mean,
here in
like
the environment, I
the
can
history of
always
like
pick it
all
up
of
and
their
relocate it,
Game
so
and Watch
things don't
releases.
necessarily need to be where they're at.
But
You can
Game &
choose to
Watch is
decorate
like
anything,
the NES and the Game
decorate
Boy,
things
as
to
primitive
the way
as
that
they
you
are, you can emulate
customize
that
this world.
code
Just the
on
way you want
a
it.
more
For
modern
instance,
console.
I would be
A Game &
watering
Watch is
all of
very
this
literally an
diagram.
LCD
A
screen.
lot nicer.
So you would just need to remake every game individually. It wouldn't take a lot of development time, but it would take more than just porting
while we're
them.
here, I do want to
Yeah.
go through
Yeah,
a
that's
couple
true.
of other. You'll see your Pokédex.
Don't have the
So
rights
as I
to it. It's
mentioned,
not theirs, but like
as
I can't
you
imagine it to be
interact
too
or
difficult. I
once
can't
you
imagine it to
interact
be too
or
difficult.
befriend or
They
scan
could do
information
Philips
about Pokemon,
CDI.
they'll show up here. So
Mm.
Hitmonchan,
They or release them separately on the
Sword
Switch.
That would be.
Scandal
I mean,
There's
for
some
me,
good
for like
games on there.
Nintendo Switch
world,
Online,
you
the
befriended them,
barrier's
so-
been lifted. I didn't
Actually,
believe
let's
that
go back to
GameCube was going to
Cyberpunk, as we
happen
were talking
because
about.
we kept getting
There's
GameCube remakes, and I was like,
specialties
okay,
here.
GameCube games
So
are
Chop,
recent
again,
enough
because as we
that
get them
they can
small
just
logs, they're able
not
to
port
transform
directly,
it
but
into- or
just
cut them into
fix up a
lumber,
bunch of
which is
textures, and
another,
it could be sold
really
as a
good
modern
use for
game.
crafting.
But ever
And
since we
every
got
Pokemon
GameCube
will
Online,
have
I'm like,
different
all right, really.
specialties, so it's
I mean, if they
really
want to do the
important for
Wii,
you
then
to
do the
befriend more
Wii. Like at that
Pokemon,
point, the
to
GameCube and the
really
Wii aren't that
leverage and
different.
collaborate with
And
them to
there's no real
build
reason to
and
do the Wii U
do
because
different
most of the
things
Wii
in
U
the
games
world.
have been ported to the Switch anyway.
You also have a habitat dex.
Right.
So more
I
It's
things
mean-
just
to
the
collect.
dual screen
Um,
experiences that
like
are the issue we're
I
running
think-
into.
memory, but
Unless Nintendo,
ever
or not
since
Nintendo,
they-
but the Pokemon company
and
just
ever
like
since they
sometimes
did
these
the
also include,
the Link's
Pokemon that
Awakening
are
thing,
in the
I'm like,
habitats
okay, I
or
guess
ones that you
anything's
might have
possible.
traces
Because it's
of.
like, why would
That's how
they
you
release
have
Link's
Habitat as well, which
Awakening
is great.
on NSO and
just,
also do the
again,
like
here as
Link's
an
Awakening
example, you
DX
open up
thing?
the
You know?
Yeah.
habitat dex,
So yeah, I
you
could
can
see it
the
happening.
items and the number of items
I think
that you
Virtual
can
Boys, when it really
that.
opened my eyes, like,
So
oh, they're willing to do
really,
like
really
anything,
helpful, especially if you're
anything.
wanting
Right.
to
It's gonna
create
sell.
that habitat
So,
in, say, another area.
I mean,
Um,
fuck it, go
and
go
here,
Phillips,
this is
go
where
Game
the
and Watch.
Pokemon
Yeah.
quests will get
Go,
logged, so as you start
I don't know,
getting even
N64
more, you
DD
can
or
always
whatever.
That
go
would
back
be
to
sick if they translated those
what you need
games.
to
If
accomplish,
they did.
because maybe there's
I
more.
do like the idea
Earthbound
of
3D.
them. I was gonna say, well, that was
Earthbound
never like
64.
finished, but
Here's
like
the Pokemon
the
Center,
idea
which
of
some people may
developing
recognize.
games for
Looking
these
a little
older
bit rough right
consoles
now.
and just like putting it on
But there's
SO
this
and
PC.
pretending, sort of like Earthbound Beginnings, where
So in
the
PC,
technical
there's a bunch of
release date
different
of that
menus you'll
is
see.
like
There's challenges, which are everyday
2015,
tasks that you'll do,
even though
Yeah,
it's just
I'm
a translation of an
there's a
older
shop,
game.
Link Play, which is tied to multiplayer.
Because-
I'm glad that they
I wanna
also
talk about
did
the
that on
environment
Switch, because again,
levels.
it looks
By pressing
terrible
the
on Wii
minus
U.
button, you're able to see
Resident
the
Wii U
environment
hater,
level
kicking them while
and
they're
the comfort
down.
level of
No,
each
I'm not a
game.
Resident Wii U hater. I'm a Resident Wii U
So as
Virtual
you
Console
improve the
hater.
Oh, I see.
That
environment,
shit
that bar will
sucks.
increase, but you
As-
also see
It
here
deserves
that,
every bit of hate it gets. Straight
Right.
up.
Yes.
So we've
Spiker,
gone too
It
far. Now
That's
people are
their
like, actually, the
comfort
Wii U is
level.
good. No,
But
we gotta
Bulbasaur,
let the
Squirtle,
pendulum
Timburr,
swing
No,
back the other way.
we gotta like we have to push back against this like
I have no home, but that's okay. I want to prioritize my friends.
Okay,
But like the
someday,
thing
someday.
sucked. It was just
I'll
not
come
a
back to
good,
me.
well put together console.
Yeah. Well,
So
legitimately,
go
like,
talk to
still
Spiker
the
and then
only
see how we can improve their
Nintendo
comfort
releases
level.
for the Wii U that aren't on the Switch
And so there's different
or
ways
other
that you can
consoles.
do it.
It's
you can go talk to
Nintendo
them.
Land and then the Zelda remakes, right? Is there anything
He
else?
had some lumber.
I guess
over
Star
there.
Wait,
Fox
sorry, what was the
Zero.
question?
We had to complete that.
Just the
Pokemon
Nintendo
quest
releases on
first.
Wii U.
But as
Which ones haven't been
Cyber
ported to the
mentioned, you could
Switch?
use the lumber.
Wow, I guess that a lot of them really.
Well, Switch in general or any
We're
other
gonna talk to
console?
them
Because I could
again.
say like Yoshi's Woolly
And you're
World,
gonna
but
see
that
this
was on
option,
3DS.
How's
Ooh.
your comfort level?
Well,
So
apparently,
they'll tell
and
you,
Woolly
"Oh,
World
I
and
want
Poochie are
something."
supposed to be
so
on the
in
Switch.
This particular instance,
We haven't heard
they have
anything about that
decoration,
since.
To
I think
put in
Splatoon,
their habitat.
technically?
Damn
to
it, yeah.
improve
Yeah.
Their comfort level.
They're like, yeah,
I mean, but
Mario
that makes
Maker,
sense.
Splatoon,
Anything
and
that I
Smash
can
for
craft
Wii
right
U
now that's
that
a
just have
decoration, so
equivalents on the Switch that probably
we'll
are
have to
never
come
going to
back
be
to it
ported.
later.
So those flowers are shaking.
But
back there.
individual
Can we check it out?
experiences, it's
Let's find out.
Star Fox Zero, Nintendo Land, and the Zelda remakes. I feel like
we
I'm missing
We
one.
never got Pushmo. We never got Pushmo back, and that bothers
True.
me.
And that'd be pretty
Pushmo
simple.
never made the jump to Switch. It would.
A
That's
little
what's crazy to
collection.
me. It's like, what are they waiting for to not do Pushmo?
Almost
Like,
very huge.
why are we still here? You know, what's the problem?
All right.
I think maybe
think it
Canvas
has-
Curse, right?
I'm surprised this
Like
game has
that-
a Pokedex.
They do. They
Does
have an
Canvas Curse
interesting
count or
special
whatever?
Yeah,
it's
that
called?
counts.
I want to show later.
We'll get back
Just
to it.
At
because
least
that
until
the
it gets a
PS5?
sequel
quite have
game.
the item in order to
Rainbow
showcase it
Curse, I
just
think, was
yet.
the Wii U
But
one.
let's see. What else can
Oh,
we do
okay.
in the meantime?
What
Craft
else?
it.
What else?
We've shown.
Well, we've crafted, but
I
we've
mean,
made a
Color
whole lot
Splash I
of
like, but Origami King is just better.
But those are like very
we just got
different
all that
experiences.
lumber.
Like they're entirely different
All right,
stories.
we craft some stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I guess then.
As
Color
opposed to like
Splash,
Mario
um,
Maker 2
So
just
this is actually
being
one of my
better
favorite
Mario
items because
Maker.
I like to collect all the things.
Well,
If you
I
get
guess
the
it's
storage
missing
box
some
and you put it
features, but
directly next to that crafting table.
What else is there?
The crafting table will actually pull directly from that inventory.
because everyone always
rather than
says
from
the
yours.
Zelda
So if,
remakes are
for
the big
example, you
ones,
decide
or
to
the
put a lot
only
of two in
ones
there,
really. But
or
if they can get Nintendo Land working,
then,
even though that is
instead of pulling
specifically
from
that's
the
just like a
website,
Wii
you
U
can
type
actually
demo
craft using
game.
that storage
I
box
don't think they're
itself.
gonna.
So
Oh, Game and Wario, obviously.
True.
Very handy.
Yeah, for sure.
That's not even a
If you
WarioWare
have
thing. That's
way
just
too
its
much
own
stuff
thing,
in
and
your
it's
inventory. You can
not
put it in that
a
storage
great one.
box.
A series that wasn't followed up on. Yeah.
Not great. God, what else is
As
there?
you go adventuring around, you will get a lot
I mean,
of stuff.
you want to count Meme Run? Does that count?
Was that a Wii U
Remember Mean
exclusive?
Run?
I always assumed it was
I
like
think
a
it
Wii.
was, yeah.
And as you
Damn,
can see
that's
at the top
nuts.
right, we just
Yeah, I'll
got
port it.
down.
I think 2016 nostalgia's coming back in a big way.
Yeah.
May as well extend it a little farther into 2015. Get it all in there.
I respect it.
Yeah,
I feel like what we're
honestly,
seeing of
the
this game
bad
of
games-
Pokopia.
I mean, do you want to count Animal Crossing, the party game? Are we counting that?
Yeah, that's an original game. That's its own thing altogether.
Oh boy.
It's a bad thing, but yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. We're
Alright,
seeing
so,
in this we're
probably
talking about
mentioned it,
the
but
Treehouse,
if you see a
seeing
Pokemon that has a
them
bubble
mark
on
these
top of
Pokemon
it,
in the
just
Pokedex, and they all have
prioritize
their
it, 'cause,
correct
again,
Pokedex
having
number.
that
That it
extra-
was
7 years.
And this is
That'd
like
be
the-
nuts if the
Finding
first game to
environment?
have
That's
every
this guy.
Pokemon game in it is
Those two right there.
Pokopia.
I think they confirmed there's only
them.
123, and I think it's really funny how it's split up because I think there's only like 2 alone.
It's okay.
Yeah, but that was what I was worried about early on, that it
I
was
did
just going to
raise
be
it, and it
the
failed
original
me.
151 again,
There's no failure here. You
Well,
still-
it is mostly Kanto.
You got
We
this.
Yeah.
persevere.
as every Pokemon
So.
game is.
Yeah.
Okay. So
For the
I will
most
say
part.
I am getting a little tired of the Kanto.
Oh, now you are.
one of my favorite.
Well, no,
ones.
it's just like we get it. Like, you know,
Rock Smash.
we get
was
it.
a fun
You
one.
know?
Right.
Just-
They're
Listen,
all-
we were
all
there.
Ditto's ability are
Only
right.
90 kids remember, but it's time to move
You
on.
actually mentioned shaping your environment.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. I'm not a big fan of the environment sticking out into the walkway
trying to
there.
think
So
what
you can
else.
actually use Rock
Uh,
Smash
Yep.
to
Well, outside
Might be
of-
able to Wii U.
your desire. And
I
it
know
gives
this
you the
is-
terrain
I feel
there
like
is
this-
kind of sitting
in
there. It doesn't
theory,
really
this
get
game would
started
have
per se. So you can
at
actually
least
use
a
that
little
later if you
time
decide
dedicated to it in the
build it right
Pokemon
up
Presents,
on a cliff,
considering it
or
is
just
the
go and make your own sort of
most
environment
upcoming
area.
major
build a house
Pokemon
out.
release.
You can actually.
Even though it's good, because this Treehouse really came out of nowhere. This is
Yeah,
really
it's pretty
strange,
great
all things
because it just
considered.
feels very
I guess they
satisfying
feared
It
that
is.
people
you're not
weren't really
losing
they
anything.
weren't
They're
riding the
just
hype of
being able
Pokopia.
to repurpose
Not that it was
that.
gonna sell poorly, but like we should probably
relocate.
get this out there a little bit.
I mean, this
But-
also
Yeah, they-
basically
And one thing
confirms
you just saw
that this
there a
is it
moment
for
ago was,
February. There's no
right
February
now-
direct.
Yeah, I
This
didn't
is
suspect that.
actually,
Like as soon as we got to the
up and
final
down
week, I'm like, they're not gonna have a direct the same week of the presents. They did that one time, and it was really weird.
Which is really, really great.
Yeah, so by aiming, I'm using.
But
the
I
right
also don't
control
think
stick,
that
which is
it's just a
the camera,
February
and
one
that's
that
how
got
I
delayed. I don't think it'll be early March.
able
It
to
might
break
be
those
like the beginning of
blocks.
April, like last year, because
Sometimes
of all the games we know that are coming out, their
Oh, I
release
got
date's only
ahead.
extended until April.
I already
Granted, we don't
smashed
have a
it.
release date for Pokemon Champions, and I imagine that will have time dedicated
Looking up and
to
looking
it
down. Well,
in the
well,
Pokemon
it's
Presents,
all
because
good.
that it had time in the last
kind of
Pokemon
that
Presents, I
mindset.
think.
Yeah.
Maybe
But-
we can finally get a
called you
release
out.
date for Rhythm Heaven at the Pokemon Presents.
Yeah, it's like a little
Your little
crossover.
ditto, huh?
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, they just start making their own. I mean, they have their own Animal Crossing now. They should compete with Nintendo by making their a Pokemon Kart Racer, a new Pokemon Dash. Do we want to lock
my
in
God,
predictions
Pokemon
for the
Dash. We're
Pokemon
almost
Presents
done,
just to
though.
see if anyone's right?
We are.
Oh god, dude. Gen
mean,
10.
they're
They
gonna-
predict Yoshi.
Nice.
I mean,
Go
my
ahead
prediction
and
is just
take a
gonna
look for
be
that
they're gonna
item
do
that,
Coliseum and maybe Gale of Darkness,
those
but
materials.
definitely
Really wanna
Coliseum.
show.
Yeah.
Like as a part of Nintendo Switch Online, or they will release them on their own.
Like they'll be like it's available now
Pretty good.
Okay,
on NSO.
got it.
Because I mean, we already know it's coming. Like those two are already confirmed. I think
That's
they're the
true. They
last
did show them in the
games,
One thing
sizzle
that
reel.
except for
You wanna be careful
Sunshine,
about,
which is
too,
again, that's
is,
another weird one. That might be
when
weirder
you
than
watch
Coliseum. Like, how have we not gotten Sunshine yet?
Isn't it literally used in the CRT filter Like that's
Exactly.
the example they use. Man, that CRT
Like,
filter
what are we-
trailer
There's
revealed a
Apple.
lot to us.
All right. Oh.
There's assholes. They won't release it.
Yeah, they.
It's so funny that like they're holding off, and it's not like a DK64 thing where it's like we know it's coming, but they haven't announced it.
Right.
We know this is coming, and they announce it, and it's just like,
It's Rock Smash.
what are we doing? Why are we waiting for them
Yeah.
to announce?
As,
Like, why are we waiting for them
kinda
to
talked
bring?
about,
This is a
can't
Mario
repurpose the
game.
material in
This
order
is
Right.
a
for us to get
freaking
to
Mario
a
game.
point,
What are we
even if
doing?
Maybe they got cold feet of the
So
way
we're gonna
people
grab this
treated
item
the
here
game
specifically.
on the internet.
It is a
And
Dowsing
they're like, oh, this
machine.
is the bad one.
An
Or
Dowsing machine plays off
the only
really
thing I can think of-
greatly with
Yeah.
the specialty
That
search,
just is like they're like,
which,
okay, listen, here's
we're gonna go
the
talk to Pidgey.
here here it is on NSO,
First,
but actually
definitely
it's
wanna
the
put
version
in
from
Pokemon
All
requests.
Stars, so you can play in widescreen, and it's like
Sure
HD,
did.
which defeats the
but that's-
purpose of the.
that defeats the purpose. So it's just like, why are we waiting?
Right.
Like
You saw that
they're
little
really
heart and
bad
arrow,
with
so
like
that's
thematic
another,
releases. Like,
Well, I don't know why we're
why
waiting
didn't they release
for most
DK
people.
64
Pokemon has increased.
during
So just
DK Bonanza
quickly, I
hype,
wanna
and
go
why
back
did
to
they not release
Pokemon Center PC
Sunshine
to
during the
show
summer?
that,
Like, what were we waiting
as
for?
we were
Right.
interacting
Well, now
with
we're
the
waiting for
Pokemon,
after the
their
Galaxy
comfort
movie
level
is out,
went
so
up.
they don't confuse people with Sunshine.
All right.
But I mean, they're bad with releasing the GameCube games in general. We talked about NSO and as far as like where can they go from major announcements, but it feels kind of
I'm gonna have to interrupt that nap. All right.
not ghoulish or in
so
poor
we're
taste,
gonna
but like
have
the
Pidgey
fact that
follow me first.
we still don't
Then
have
I'm
enough
going
GameCube
to
games, and yet we know it's like, oh, we're probably gonna get the
Galaxy
Wii at some
machine
point,
through the
because I
menu.
think for the most part,
Then I'm gonna press the A button.
because Nintendo
This
Switch Online
now
was first
allows
launched
the
in
Pokemon-
September of
oh,
like
they're going up there.
2018
Oh, that's really hot.
or
Let's try a
2017, I think
different
2018.
area.
Yeah.
And since then, every September they've announced a new console, except for the pandemic,
No, they're
announced
really
a
wanting to
new
go up
console
there.
coming
that's
to Nintendo
okay.
Switch
We know
Online.
it's up in that direction.
And I guess
Yeah,
also
so-
this September they didn't
I think
announce
it's
one,
like,
but they did announce
is that
GameCube for the
rock
launch of the
sweating?
Switch too. that is around
And
when
then
when
Boy.
people, if they get
Okay,
the
so,
yearly subscription when
as Dee
subscriptions
mentioned,
are up, so they constantly just
kinda
give them an
showing
excuse to
that we need to
resubscribe.
go in
So
the
it seemed like for the most part
direction
every
of
September they were adding a
they're
new
pointing
console,
at
but
in order to
even that will
go
gain diminishing
to
returns because now that we're all talking about
specifically
GameCube
something
games, it
that's
seems they
hidden
moved
within
on
the
from
terrain.
N64 games when there's still like not a lot of N64 games on
Yeah,
there.
so it's
At least
a
in
little bit
comparison
higher. I
to
don't wanna
NES
go
or Super
too
Yeah,
Nintendo.
far,
too high up.
just because I
Right.
don't want to ruin the
I
surprise
you know
for
honestly
everybody
I don't
at
know
home
if we're
to
getting
kinda see
Wii.
what they're
Like that's the
looking for,
thing.
but
Wii is the one.
I will say that
Wii. I know I said like
there are a
there's
lot of
somewhere
collectibles
consoles with
in this
gimmicks, but
game.
Wii is the black sheep of
And
that
you might
because
have seen
that
that
has
I
the
was
gimmick.
dodging quite a
But
few
also
of
it's like
them,
there's games that
in the
like you
environment
can
because,
work
again, I
without it.
don't want to ruin
But the thing is like we have
surprise, but
Skyward Sword HD.
for you to
Mhm.
We
remember
have
as you're playing.
Mario Galaxy 1 and 2.
But this is a great way for you
we
to
have
quickly
Xenoblade,
to find more collectibles in
True.
an easy way. So you really
I think we
want
have
to
other stuff
leverage
too.
the,
I'm just trying to think
the
here.
search
Mhm.
We have
ability,
Epic Yarn on
specialty
3DS
alongside
technically.
the Galaxy machine in order to find those a
What
little
else?
quicker.
Return to Dreamland Deluxe.
Yeah, we have Return to Dreamland.
That is true.
Uh,
But since we just got a notification,
I
that
don't know
the
why I'm
weekend
drawing
is
a
done,
blank.
we're going to this
I mean,
pathways
but
with
Pokemon
So I
Stadium,
press
like I
and
guess they could bring
hold up
Pokemon
Battle
what is it?
Revolution?
What was it called
to-
again? Yeah, Battle Revolution. They could bring that.
Yeah, I gotta get
guess.
Poke Park.
But
Yeah.
like, what else?
Park 2, Wonders Beyond.
What else really is there? Like they could bring that's like a big draw. Like
Super Smash
Super
Brothers
Paper Mario.
Brawl.
yeah, Super Smash Bros. That's true. They could do that. I don't know.
And we
why.
have new Super Mario Bros on the Switch too.
Yeah.
Exactly. We have that. We have.
gonna
I
complete
mean, like, yeah, the Super Paper Mario,
Nintendo
the Super
Switch
Smash
Sports.
Bros.
Is
Brawl.
essentially saying that in order for home to be or a building to be complete, you need to
There's
put furniture in it.
Mario
At the
Kart
very
Wii.
least,
Ooh, they
3
could bring Mario
items.
Kart
So-
Wii.
That's true.
We're
And they
just
should
gonna
add
go
online.
inside.
Dude,
Wait,
yeah.
is 64 on
Charmander's here.
GameCube?
Just-
Mario Kart
I
64?
mean, on N64. Is that on N64 NSO?
Mario Kart 64? Yeah, I think so.
I think it is. Yeah.
Small.
Yeah.
If they had Double Dash, that'd be cool. Because
Right.
that game's
So we're gonna
fun.
go ahead
Like,
Because
and decorate
there's
it with the
we
items
don't
that
have
we
Smash
crafted,
for
just
for
there.
NSO
So we're gonna
64
put that
yet.
table,
yeah, but we
We
know
don't
it's
have
coming.
any Smash game.
this bed here. Completed it. But I am also.
I'm
going
just
to add
waiting
this
for the day when
campfire.
they
And don't worry
release
about
Melee
everything
for
being,
GameCube
built
Online
with
and people
leaves and
play it for like a
sticks.
little bit, but then the
I wanna
online isn't up
show
to snuff and then they
Charmander's
drop
burn
it.
specialty.
Yeah, I mean, how are you
So
supposed to play
whenever
24
they're
hours of
following
Smash? You
you,
can't.
they're near
You
an
have to
item
leave
that
the
might be
GameCube on
avoidable,
overnight to
they're
unlock
able to
Mewtwo.
light
That's how
it
you do
up.
it.
So
That's a
You
good
just
point.
leave it on.
fire.
And even
You
though
can't do
you've
that on NSO.
encountered or befriended this Pokemon
I mean, so
in your
here's
natural
my
habitat,
take: is that
or the
if they
habitat
do
that
another
you prefer,
console,
you can
they might go
always
down like the
relocate them
Genesis
into a
route
different
of them
area.
not
So,
doing
for
a
example,
Nintendo
by
console.
talking
Maybe
to
they'll do
Charmander
the
here,
Dreamcast.
you
The
have this
PlayStation.
Haven't they
option.
already
This is
done one of the Sega systems?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did the Genesis.
That's why I was
And the
thinking if they did
GameCube?
Genesis, I'm like maybe
so
they'll
now
do
this is
the
Charmander's
Dreamcast.
new,
But then again,
Mhm.
Genesis hasn't been updated since early 25, I think,
And we could
possibly
go back
even
into the
earlier than
Pokédex,
that.
too.
Yeah.
So, you know,
And there
who
was a game
knows?
that was
Ideal
delisted,
habitat
right?
warm. So
That was on SNES, I
say
think.
that
Okay.
outside, you can get a little
Because
bit
Phil Spencer
traffic.
like, just left
maybe
Xbox.
time
I heard
to
about
die
this
because of the
too.
rain. So
We gotta
maybe
wait for
if you wanna
Xbox to die so we can
certain
get Game
Pokemon
Pass
like
and
Charmander
original
into a
Xbox games on
home where they can be
NSO.
protected and a little bit
know.
cozier.
I know.
So
No.
already made
Very
themselves
cozy.
I mean, I don't
There's a note
actually
right
want
there.
the company to go under
All
because they've
right.
bought so many
You don't
other
choose where
companies
you wanna
that
take it
there's a
now.
lot at
Okay,
risk
so
right
let
now.
them be
But I
who
do,
they
I'm
want
standing
to
by
be.
my theory
Let
that
them
they're
sleep
probably
where they
done
wanna sleep.
manufacturing
Love it.
consoles. I
Mom
mean, for
hasn't
the most
fallen
part,
asleep on the couch.
considering the way shortages
Oh,
are
yeah,
going, I would be
tired.
surprised if anyone released a new
I think
console
we
in the
woke
next
him up
couple
from
of years.
laughing,
But I feel like PlayStation might still
I
try.
forgot to dismiss them.
Oh,
there
that's
you
right.
go.
That's okay. I'm sure
I
they
mean,
appreciate that house, especially
It's
if it
just
starts to
depressing to
rain.
think about.
Yeah. But also, you know, consoles have plateaued. Like, I really don't know.
About covers
I
for
feel
the
like most games,
single-player
for the most part, like,
experience,
all still run on the
but,
PS5
we're
and the
gonna
Series
set up
X.
now for the other
And you'd be
part,
hard-pressed
which
to
is the
find
multiplayer mode of
multiplayer
the game.
is what I've been waiting
really
for.
excited to show a little bit
Oh,
of
is this
that
it?
because it is one of the multiplayer modes in the game.
One
so
of-
we're just
Dude, I
Oh,
gonna
they're-
kind of hate the
uh,
Ditto
Oh, they're
face,
different
I'm not gonna lie.
modes?
Hi everyone, welcome
Yeah,
back.
Ditto face doesn't
We're
bother me.
we just finished setting it
Welcome
up,
back.
so hopefully it was really quick on your side.
Oh, thank God.
But
I
yeah,
blinked or
let's-
something.
Let's jump right into it.
I
All
was
right,
like,
so
did I have
this
a
is
stroke?
the one of the multiplayer modes that you'll be able to interact in the full game. This is
Okay.
Pallet Town.
I don't like their cheeks. I think
So
that's
what
Pallet
you're about
Town.
to see has been built specifically, especially for this segment. So
So I assumed it was like Animal
you'll start
Crossing and you
seeing
could
things
like
that,
play the game
might
and then
not be
also
in
have
your
people in
specific
it.
town.
But this
also,
feels like it's a different
certain
mode
things that
altogether.
Have been set here are not going to be indicative of what the full game is going to be experienced.
I don't think so.
But
I
we
think
just
it's a
wanted
Game
to
comes
give
out
a-
next week.
a shout out on that just because of what we're gonna start showing here. So anyway, we got starting from the left, Kevin, myself,
They have really big
Demetrius?
hands.
and Lindsay. All right,
Aw.
and this is Pallet Town, which up to 4 players can play local wireless or online. We're playing in local wireless.
Local
today.
wireless or online.
But also up to 2 players can play in game share. So even though this is a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive game, only the Nintendo Switch 2 system can do the game share feature. But
Okay, 2 consoles
the
can
Nintendo
game
Switch
share.
2 system can share with either a Nintendo Switch 2 system or a Nintendo Switch system.
So
those players
you
can
could
kinda
play
give
with
a
one
try
person if
to
they don't have the
see
game,
what this,
but not with 4.
the game is all about.
And you can play with
and
one
it's
person
specifically
if they have
for
a
this
Switch, you
area.
have a Switch 2 and have
so
a game.
Right.
this is my
Right?
Pallet Town.
This is also
and
confusing.
so it's a little bit populated right now. So we're gonna
have to
go
try.
off
Listen, I'm
in
going to be
our
playing it
different
next
directions.
Thursday
If
no
you guys
matter
wanna
what.
start creating some habitats with your abilities or moves. I'm gonna.
You guys are welcome to
access,
swing by and try if we
so
can get it to
any
work.
item that
Right
has a
before
mirror will
poker
allow
night,
you to
so
change the
I
appearance.
gotta
So
prep the
we
night
talked
before
about
poker
it in
night.
the single player portion of the segment.
I gotta
that
get ready.
When you first start the game, you'll be able to customize. So this
Oh, you
is
can make
kind
it
of very
purple?
similar to that menu.
Be purple.
So you can see you could change
What if it was purple?
hairstyle. You could change the color of your hair. I'm gonna go with blue.
What?
I keep the outfit. Change my top to pink.
Uh-oh, guys, I think they made Pokemon
Pants. That's close to jeans.
Pokemon.
Great.
I'm gonna go with.
Yeah, can you also do
pink hat.
same-sex marriage in this game?
Maybe a black back.
I hope so.
Pretty blue. Pretty blue.
That's really why I'm
that's
buying
cute.
I
it.
forget. Do
some
Dittos have
bright blue
gender,
shoes.
or
They made a
are
trans
gender?
character just now. Look at this.
I like that.
Okay.
This is like
I
first
will
month of trans when you're like buying knee-high socks off
And
Amazon.
There we go. That's great. So here's a workbench. I'm actually gonna grab it quickly and relocate it. Maybe I might need it for later.
Is this just what
I'm also
California
gonna
looks
start
like all the
cutting
time?
This is Pallet
some
Town, I'll have you
grass
know.
here.
It's a little worse for wear.
Maybe get some material.
This is like the Mushroomy
that we
Kingdom
don't have right
version,
now.
where it's
And as we
post-apocalyptic.
talked about
Oh yes,
before,
Mushroomy Kingdom.
Something's gone
in order
wrong.
to get, say, certain material, you can also use
Mushroomy Kingdom version.
Ditto's abilities, not just for creating habitats,
Do we ever get like lore behind why that stage even exists, or is it just?
I think it was just like a joke. They just thought it'd be funny to have.
It was
like
oh,
so we haven't
it's retro and like this is how we actually remember. It seems like Sakurai in general is like views Mario as a lot more scary than it was. That's the idea behind Giga Bowser, right? Is like that's how he envisioned the Bowser boss fight.
Something shaking over
That's why Mario's just pissed off all the time too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was on the front lines of Mario if he was cool.
Pokemon Center for you, or?
Oh, yeah, let me go over there really quickly just to kind of highlight.
And we've only seen Scyther.
That Pokemon Center. So in this pallet town, again, this is on my system, so I've invited the other players to come and build on my town.
Okay, so it is like Animal Crossing.
Very expressing it's my town. So anything that they build is going to be on my system.
Oh, it's not like Animal Crossing. You could actually build with other people.
If I'm wanting to build the other players' towns, I have to go over to their town, which will look completely different from mine.
Okay.
So you'll see that.
Here's the thing. I like the like building aspect that you can make it look like a Pokemon town. I've been wanting like a Pokemon Maker game for a while. Very clearly, this is not exactly what I expected that to be, but
what the final game will look like. It's just especially for
do you think you saw Ubisoft Mario
segment
when
because
you
we want to
played it?
show how it transforms and what the Pokemon Center looks like when it's built. I happen to have all the material, but I'm missing a Pokemon that has the build specialty.
Originally, Bowser used magic to turn the toads into brick blocks and plants, so it's not necessarily an accurate interpretation of the series. Inaccurate. Yeah, it was more of a wizard. But I guess the same goes for Ganondorf.
I know from the previous, for the single-player game, Timber was able to appear in this kind of habitat. So we're going to try for it again and see. Be hopeful that they appear.
I really want to play Majora's Mask again.
And again, because this is my save file or save data,
your days are repeating,
I have to interact with the Pokemon in order for the other players to be able to collaborate together with them too.
It's actually not a terrible fate. That's pretty based, but
that'd be a fun challenge to just play the game nonstop for 3 days in a row.
Team effort.
No sleep, no food, no nothing.
All these habitats, and I'm like, I have to inspect and talk to everybody. Look at all these friends. They're popular.
We can't help it.
Recomp this time if I did it.
Ooh,
where is everybody?
Right, here's Magby.
She's supposed to be playing with 3 other people.
Yeah, where is everybody?
What happened?
Online play with friends.
Interact with maybe one more.
There's someone.
They're doing something else.
A guy or
they're
a
being
girl
efficient. Why don't you talk to someone, man?
Charmander.
You go outside.
Oh, good.
Get Charmander.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
God, there's too many fire types.
Here.
This really is Kanto.
Lizard Pokemon.
Alright, let's see if maybe that rock shaded.
Yeah, it seems like there are just 4 concurrent playthroughs happening right now. They don't seem to be doing a lot together.
Pokemon with build specialty. Come on. Woo!
Oh, it's hoping to be a fire type.
Good job.
I know, right?
So they're talking about it like it's random. And maybe it is, considering she like led with Scyther.
Actually, I think there's a Makuhita here that pretty sure the
Oh,
there we go.
But it seems like they all have different like
so I'm gonna have
specific abilities, like cutting grass or cutting wood or fire or like rock smash.
A conversation with Charmander right now, but
I guess you could do them in any order realistically.
Let's go here, and there we go. So. Since they're all been highlighted, I'm gonna go ahead and have them start rebuilding the Pokemon Center.
Or there are just different categorizations, like, oh, these are the building type mobs.
All right, so as you can see,
I'd be so disappointed if I start out with Charmander.
For this Pokemon Center to be rebuilt. Again, it's not indicative of what is going to be in the full game, but we really want to showcase
the game comes out in a week.
Like once it's completed, because it is really cool.
What more could they possibly add to this game in that time?
Over here too.
I still don't get like what the end game is of this.
We'll
like,
be right back. To check that out.
If it's supposed to be Animal Crossing, I get it.
But I
like,
do want to show some other moves that Ditto can do that we weren't.
I guess like getting all of the Pokemon and then creating a, you know, an ecosystem with all of them.
with rototiller, you're able to till the soil.
But like,
that's really perfect
it's like,
for growing crops.
What's the
another really cool ability that rototiller can do
I know what the
is,
story is, but like
if
where
you highlight
in a
plant,
post
we end up at the
even a
end
flower,
of this, you know?
Pokemon.
or a vegetable.
Well, you're gonna have to play the game and find out, Dan.
In an area that you didn't quite want
In your
to, or
own
maybe you wanted to
individual
relocate
Pokemon
that
event. The world of
flower to-
Pokemon
I
is
don't know.
vast.
I just want to know if we can
maybe-
get a Profacia Gaming
Maybe
video
decorate
where
it
it's
somewhere
Pokopia
else,
all
or maybe
bosses,
even to create
no
a
damage.
flower habitat.
That'd
like
be
this one.
awesome if there just were secret
So,
bosses in
really
it.
cool feature with the rototiller.
You know, like go for it.
You should.
so
there
many
should be. I mean, if they
Pokemon,
want to
man.
lean into the Animal Crossing Stardew
And
of
so
it all,
many
there
friends.
should be
Alright,
like
so the
individual
Pokemon Center
romance
is
meters for all the Pokemon.
rebuilt. It's done.
You are a
I'm gonna
Ditto.
Talk to Machop to complete it.
You should be able to breed with the Pokemon. The Wasteland.
Oh,
Center.
you're the one? Oh, okay, I thought you
Yeah.
said
This,
you're,
but
okay.
that is much faster.
No,
than
not
I
with
was
each
thinking.
other. No,
Yes.
the Ditto.
Look at that.
But also, we don't know what the inside of the center
Good
looks
as new.
like, or like what it does.
Yes.
I feel like overall,
What did we
this
You can go
increasingly
inside,
over
but,
hour-long
just for
Treehouse
the
doesn't
sake
really
of
showed us
surprise,
a whole lot of
For
anything.
when the game comes out, we're gonna leave that.
Oh, they're not
for
gonna
you
show
Just
us.
like the
cover
basic,
when the game comes
gameplay
out.
loop and stuff.
All right.
This feels like the end.
Said we had to wait.
I'm gonna go over here and
She's not going to show us. We have to wait.
Pokédoll.
look, this area looks like it could be rebuilt. What do you guys think?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's walking a fine line. When I first saw it, it was like
In
somewhere
about 10
between like
minutes,
Animal
let's see
Crossing
what
and
we can do with
Minecraft,
this
but
space.
it
I'm gonna
seemed
put
like
the
you can't
workbench
build
here
freely
for
as
you
much
guys
as
to
you
kinda
can
start.
repair build. Well, I don't know. You
Working
just place the
through.
block.
I'll go out and see if I can find some items that we can use to decorate it. So I'll be right back.
Because if they just like made their own
in the
Pixelmon,
meantime,
that
I wanna
would
showcase
sell
some other
enough copies
abilities that
already.
Ditto has.
Oh, there's like a whole
so
world over
No,
there.
I
they're
get
not
it. It's just
in
like
the wheel or in the move wheel here, but
So there's only like
Ditto can transform into a Lapras when in water and be able to navigate across large bodies of water. Really, really handy for when you're
Arcanine.
wanting to
Arcanine.
get from point A to point B. This is an ability that you'll be able
Aldino.
to get. as
Arcanine,
you
use
play through the
flamethrower.
game.
Grow.
So you can kind
What
of
a
see this area
dumbass.
here that's been.
It's like you have a
especially
growl
built
with you
for
idiot.
this
He literally
segment.
says
so
it
we had
out
talked
loud.
about building through building kits, but you're also able to build block by block and really
Okay, you can build block by
develop
block.
the area how you really want it to look like.
Umbreon, Espeon.
And so as long as the building has 4 walls and is like at least 2 blocks in height, that is considered a building. But you can get pretty tall buildings.
Yeah, I
if you
think
want to.
for me
and you
the
can see
appeal is
also
just
that there's these
rebuilding
lampposts and also
Pokemon
these,
generations, right? I used to do that in Minecraft. I would like
these
build the
electricity
routes
poles.
individually.
So there is electricity in the
Although I
in the
do wish this
and,
game had sort of a
it's all
dedicated
being
creative
generated
mode.
by those windmills. So there's some really interesting things that you can
And
do
it doesn't
to
really
light
seem
up
like
your
you can
area
build up
because
the
there might be some
mountains.
items that will require electricity. So you can
no,
kind
you
of
need a
see
few
here
badges before you can do
different
that.
things that you can do with your world.
You need to be
There's
forklift
that,
certified.
upward staircase in this little garden.
I feel like this bit looks fun.
And here's
This is a
some
nice
2
living space.
houses here that are
how does he fit in there?
built from building kits. So we're gonna go into this one.
Okay,
and
we see an
how
interior.
You can decorate the inside to
Okay.
really however you want. So you could see here there's some really cute Pokemon plush
This, I
toys,
think it's just
and also some really
inopportune
comfortable
timing
looking
to be like a
themed,
month before
items.
Tomodachi
I
Life.
want that Dragonite stuffy
Yeah.
in real life.
Seriously, yeah.
I was
cute,
kind of
so
thinking
cute.
that.
And as I mentioned with electricity, you could turn on.
I
And
mean, it
off
has its own appeal
lamps.
because it's
There might
Pokemon.
be some
Everyone loves
other things that
Pokemon,
run
but-
through electricity, so really fun.
It'll be
items
fun
for you
while
to
I play it,
discover.
for what
and,
it's worth,
who knows?
a
Maybe
little
you'll
bit.
be able to craft them too in the full game.
But I'm so backed up on all
and
the
also,
Switch 2
I
exclusives
really like the
now.
stage. You can also
I gotta get that
rock
tennis
out,
academy. I gotta get more
maybe
tennis.
build a concert with your friends.
I did also, in between
Emo, thank you for coming.
installments of
And
Switch 2
speaking of
Ultra.
emotes, so
I can tell you guys-
can
well,
interact
hold
with the emote wheel here by pressing down on the
How
mouse
important
control
is what they're...
pad.
Yeah, whatever.
But in addition, if I press
And
the plus
last
button
weekend,
and
I
you can see
played
all
not
the
only
different
Mario
emotes,
Tennis
but
Fever
there's also
and
preset
Xenoblade Chronicles
messages
X
that you
Definitive
can use
Edition
in order
Switch
to
2 Edition.
communicate with your friends
And I
as
can
you're
tell
playing
you
as
that
well.
I did...
Definitely
Dan, you
a
were
lot
right.
of
I did
ways
really
to
love
communicate
Torius. I did...
the most out
Or of the, like,
interacting,
sub-games, the one I'm most
communicating,
excited to, like, continue playing.
really
I do
building
love a little
community,
puzzle.
Not only just inside the game,
Oh,
Oh,
but
damn. You like
with
Taurus?
the,
I did love Tourist.
with the Pokemon, but also
Nice.
with
I'm
the
really
friends.
glad you like that game. That game's a lot of
We're
fun.
gonna
It's
I gotta go
frustrating-
back.
it's frustrating at
Other
points, but
area,
it's really
before
fun.
I do,
I haven't hit
wanna
that
see if
hump
I can
yet,
get
but...
up to a really
And then,
good point.
Tokyo Scramble is...
But yeah, I said I was
So
going
it's a...
to
Do you
grab
guys know
stuff
anything
for
about
us to
Tokyo Scramble?
decorate before I forget, let me grab the side table, this beach chair.
What did you say about Tokyo Scramble?
Do you know anything about the game?
The stairs.
Okay, I'm creating.
I mean, nothing other than what was shown in the presentation.
Okay. What was for me to bring the Twitch over here?
Oh, okay. Was that my end or was that on your
No,
end?
I think that was me. But I believe we're so back.
I was like,
And show
Yeah, I think we're live over
one
here.
that
Okay,
did
good.
no, I was saying, I think it's just like what, like a multiplayer
show the
dinosaur
Lapras
survival game.
Is
That's
it
all I know.
multiplayer? Oh, maybe that makes more sense. Yeah, no, I went into it
by transforming
thinking
into
like,
dragon
oh,
knight.
you know, this is like
And it's a really great way for you
an
to
anime
glide from
style
point
like
A
a
to
horror
point B.
game.
Both
There'll
the
be
Lapras
ghosts
move
or
and
monsters
the
or maybe like
the
manifestations
Dragonite
of the
moves
past.
will
But no,
use
yeah,
power
it's
points, so you can
dinosaurs.
see
It's
the
immediately
blue
attacked
bar.
by
It's slowly
velociraptors and I was
depleting as I
shocked.
use it, so
It's not
same
very
way as
fun,
the
by the
other
way. It's
Ditto
pretty
moves, you'll
bad.
need to eat food
It
in
didn't
order
look
to
fun.
replenish the
Yeah.
power
It didn't.
points.
I don't want to be
So
mean, but
really
I didn't know it was
I
like a
know,
multiplayer experience. Maybe I'm missing out a
Seems
very
like
crucial
everybody's been
detail
doing
of that
some
game.
Really great progress here. Is there anything I can help?
And then I also played
I
Pool
don't think
Room
it's
Billiard,
much
which
for
is
crazy.
pool.
All right,
It's a pool game.
put this table here.
Well, I'm glad we're in the
wasn't
era of
completely
the
lazy, I
Switch 2
promise.
now
I
that
was
like
got some stuff.
games that are
gonna
technically
call you
exclusives
out.
are also
it's
just
been
becoming
awesome,
East
man.
Slop
You're
Shop
looking out
or
for
East
you.
like outside of the Switch 2 edition in comparison. How would you
find
where would you
the-
place or how would you compare
Charmander.
Xenoblade Chronicles
I got it.
Definitive
Oh, you got it?
Edition
Okay. I
to
won't-
the original
won't
Xenoblade
take that
Chronicles
away.
or I guess in
I think-
comparison to the Switch 2 edition?
I was actually tweeting about this the other day because I think like one of the reasons Xenoblade 1 is my favorite in the trilogy is that there's something very like not commercial about it. Like it's not a game. It feels like a game that
And this one?
I don't know. It kind of doesn't do a lot of the things that games like it normally do to kind of, you know, please their audience. It's a very self-serious game with kind of a weird art style, especially in the original game. I mean, I think the definitive edition is kind of has a bit more of a traditional like anime-esque art style. The original game has like a much more, I don't know, there's not many games with like the art like the people the depictions of like people that I can think of. I think Xenoblade Definitive is a little bit more by the book. Looks better. I think sometimes the colors are a little bit more muted, but altogether it's a really good remake.
I, having never played a Xenoblade game and only played it for a little bit, I could understand why people would get like addicted to it. Just the individual gameplay loop of the way of setting up battles and like very quickly cycling through all of your different attacks and then setting up the rest of your party to battle a certain way. I could understand why people would get hooked on the gameplay loop.
Yeah, for sure.
Even though it does seem like, not that it's a story game, but it seems like the type of game that people would mostly get hooked for the story. But for me, it kind of like scratches.
I mean, the gameplay's still cool. I just think that,
Yeah.
like,
There you go.
it wouldn't. I mean, that actually, when X originally came out back in 2015, I was pretty disappointed because it wasn't like as, you know, overtly
Xenoblade.
story.
I see what you did.
Was that me? It's gonna sound like a deplorative, but
That'll work.
it like scratches the same itch as like a game like Cookie Clicker. Like being able to set up multiple idle things at a time.
Or maybe. Why not?
Well, there's definitely a big culture of people who like
I'm just gonna go ahead.
you know, like optimize their teams so they can like destroy super bosses in a matter of seconds and stuff like that.
Right.
So there is like, I think, sort of that like spreadsheet big number kind of itch that I think some people like about those kinds of games.
Yeah.
Beans.
So it's right next to the crafting table.
Well, while they're displaying all of this, I mean, again, I like this aspect of Pokopia. I think it's one of those games that's gonna take a while to actually. You ever play like a Minecraft game or like a Pokemon game, and the like setup part is really exciting, and then once you get to a certain point, you kind of just want to start over again.
Yeah.
I imagine it can kind of be the same way, but like.
You got him?
It just really makes me, and I felt the same way about Animal Crossing. It kind of makes me want like a creative mode,
I'm right next to
being able to have access to everything, so you can plot out what you're building before you build it.
I wanted specifically Bellsprout.
Yeah, for sure.
But I gotta find time across. I mean, there's so many of the Switch game that I wanna, because what I've been doing is just like playing the Switch 2 every Thursday on stream and just rotating what the main focus is. But even like Mario Kart, I technically haven't seen everything in it.
Okay.
There's a lot to
Bellsprout
unlock if I want
has a
100%
specialty
Kirby Air
as
Riders or
well.
Donkey Kong Bonanza. So my
and
plan was
I'm
to
gonna
like
have
play
them
all of
follow
them
me
every week and just do like a
because
little bit
with
at a time, maybe like a handful of
vegetable
minutes.
patch that
But
I
the
just
more and more
grew in
games I
the
want to
backyard,
play, the more I'm going to have
it
to
will take some
prioritize.
time for it to grow
Well, I guess we could
because
throw it over to like, as far as
need
these
lights,
major,
water, and
there's maybe like
nutrients.
one or two missing, but
But
I've done my
Bellsprout's
best to
help,
like keep up on it.
I'll be
As
able
far
to
as
use their
all of
specialty
these
to
Switch
make
2
this go just
experiences,
a
which
little bit
ones have you
faster.
guys played?
So you can see now the beans that I just.
Too small.
Let's see.
The
Do
one
you
that's
think we're done?
tilted.
Yeah.
Yeah, just which of these
Pretty
games do you
good.
guys have for the
I
Switch
have one
2?
more final touch on.
Do it.
I have Mario Kart World. I have
Okay.
Bonanza.
I believe
I have Air Riders. I have ZA. I've played Prime 4.
Although I might need help from Charmander.
I've played a little bit of the GameCube, I think. Xenoblade X.
I'm
Well,
gonna
I didn't get the definitive edition. I might not, because apparently it looks worse.
Yeah, and also like I can't. I mean, we know it doesn't add any additional features other than
Never
looking
mind.
different.
No, I've got some terrain. I'll just put it down for the
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Well-
not exactly grabbing me.
What about you, Dan? You got a different list?
seriously.
I mean, I played Walking Tour.
In real
I
life.
played. I wanted to play Fast. but I haven't gotten to it yet.
That
I don't
makes
even
two.
invite. I gotta
Yeah.
play that.
I think
we got to
need
play it
a
on the
call
launch
out.
week.
What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
I think it looks great.
Okay,
I
I'm
got
gonna go with
Bonanza.
one more thing, which is a little thingy.
Oh, I got Dear Me. I
got
don't want
Charmander,
to.
that's
I don't
what
want to talk
I
about
think.
that.
That was
Like the
hilarious when I played that.
Okay, go for it.
I want to play Chillin' by the
see,
Fire.
that
Just
works.
like
Yeah.
to play it.
Dude, we should chill one of these days. I always load it up right before I play other games on the Switch 2, just marinating over a fire. I haven't been able to use the camera aspect of it. Legitimately, let me know if you
you're
ever
so
want to play
happy.
Chill by the Fire.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm
I gotta
playing the
get-
Switch 2 every Thursday.
Yeah, nice job, guys.
I
All right.
love Kirby Air Riders. For
Nice.
ZA was great.
Got the
Mhm.
Metroid Prime
This is
4.
a good place to
I
wrap
played-
up.
I finished
so
that.
one more
I mean,
final thing
I
that
played a
we
bit
really
of
wanna
the
show
Switch 2
that
versions
you'll be
of
able
Breath
to
of the Wild
do
Tears
not
of the
only
Kingdom.
in
I mean,
multiplayer mode.
1080p,
we're just
60
showing it because it's a
FPS,
great way
game
to kind of
for
highlight
sure. I mean,
these wonderful
that's-
game moments,
that's
but
that one,
also
right?
in single
Yeah.
player. You'll be able
You know,
to
I already said
use
Taurus
the
Deluxe. I
Pokédex
love
as
that
a
one.
camera in order to snap some shots.
I'm trying to think of what else.
Yeah, they really
I
want
primarily played the Tears of the
but you
Kingdom
can
Switch
do
2 edition.
landscape,
I
you can also
imagine
do
the Switch 2
selfies.
editions are more or less the same for both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. It's just
I think they are, yeah.
Breath of the Wild and
you
Tears of
can
the Kingdom.
change your hands.
Well, I heard that there
you
was
can
like you could transfer
also
items
make,
between those two games on the Switch 2
little
edition.
facial-
Does that apply to all of the items or just specific
You
ones?
could also
I don't know. I
you can
genuinely
do
never knew that was a
emotes and
thing.
little
Oh, I also
facial
played
icons.
Starcross
You
World.
can change your frames, your
that too.
filters.
That was
Go
also.
with a
They're
vignette.
wrapping up
Why
the
not?
treehouse, so we can before we cover our weekly
you know
direct,
what?
we can go back to that ranking.
Pop.
Yeah, there we go.
And we do
Alright,
have the
good.
Pokemon
Charmander's
Presents
really
upcoming
happy
on
about
Friday.
putting in the photo too.
I think
I'm gonna change.
again all the mobile
Yeah,
games,
that's
you know,
good.
they're fucking
Good.
cafe, they're gonna add a character to Unite or whatever. I assume we're gonna get a release date for Champions
mind
because that was announced at the last
Sure, for
Presents.
Woo!
And it's
Whoa,
been
what?
long enough now that is both a Switch game and like a mobile
Okay,
game.
here we go, guys.
It's also one of
Andre.
the few that we don't have a release date for. I imagine it'll be somewhere in the spring.
All right,
And then we'll
three,
get
one.
the Fire Red
three.
Leaf Green eShop announcement. Maybe some games coming to NSO as well.
That was a little rough.
What do you guys think we'll see as far as... Well, let me ask, do you guys think there's going to be a new Pokemon generation this year?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if there isn't.
Do you think we'll see... Well, how... If we see that at the Presents, the Pokemon Presents, how much of it? To what degree? Will it just be like a little sizzle reel of like, oh, this is what the region looks like?
amazing.
Or do you
Okay.
think we'll have more time
Alright, guys,
dedicated
well,
to how it actually
that-
plays?
that about
It's probably
wraps
going to be the
up
last thing they show off, and I would predict that it, like, once they've shown it off, they'll show off maybe the starters, and that's it, and they'll start, like, giving us more information throughout the year. And that's what
Okay.
they usually do, and I doubt they would do anything different.
Yeah.
I agree.
It... I know we get Pokemon games every year, and there's an argument to be had about like an overabundance. And I think outside of...
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
I think the only 4-year gap between regions prior to this was like... Was it Hoenn to Sinnoh, I think? That was the 4-year gap, and then since then it's
Owen
been
was like 2003, I think, and Sinnoh was what,
I just
2006,
remember
I guess. Yeah.
2006.
So
okay,
new.
so 4 years between Sinnoh and Unova then. And then everything else has been 3 years, I believe.
Give or take. I think sometimes it's been a little bit back and forth, you know.
At least for like the last decade, it's been 10, 13, 16, 19, and then 22, and now we're in 26. But anyway, like, even when it was 3 years, when I've always heard like, oh man, these games happen too frequently. There's too many Pokemon. There's always adding stuff. But 3 years is a long time. Thinking back to like when the last new Pokemon we got in Scarlet and Violet, I can't even remember the Scarlet and Violet like starter reveal. It was like the beginning of 2022, right?
Yeah, no, it was the Pokemon Presents for 2022.
Yeah.
Well, actually, maybe it wasn't. It might have been like right at. It might have been
because
months
Legends
after.
Arceus came out January of 22, so it had to be. It was definitely after that.
Oh yeah.
It was like weirdly pushed off.
I remember how everyone was like really blown away by Legends Arceus, and then Gen 9 came out. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
This is sad.
It was a step backwards. But I get the feeling that like they didn't. Arceus as a concept, or I guess Legend as a concept, was untested, which is probably why they also outsourced like traditional Gen 4 remakes to Ilka to make like 1-to-1 remakes of the DS games. Because I imagine internally they were developing a Sinnoh project, right? Because it was time to remake Sinnoh, and they'd rather do a Legend-style game. And I've kind of liked that we've broken the pattern. That now Legends games can just be whatever they decide to. And if we're assuming that Terra leak from a year or so back is correct, then the next Legends game is probably going to be Galar. But also there was a Legends Johto game in development before they switched over to Kalos, so who knows? But yeah, I think you're right. I think like a little sizzle reel of the region and the starters is to be expected. Is there anything else you guys want to like predict or expect at the Pokemon Presents that we're not really thinking about?
I don't really think so. I mean, probably more information on Pokemon Champions. Does that have a release date yet?
No, that's what I was saying. Is like that got
Probably
announced at the
release
last
date for
Present,
that.
so I think probably
Dude,
around
what the fuck
spring.
are they waiting a year for that for? That's
It's
crazy.
a mobile
really funny
game,
if you
yeah.
just never even mention it.
Well, do you think they're
Like,
gonna do anything
just
bigger
never
for
talk
the
about it.
anniversary?
Well, I mean,
they're
isn't
doing
New
Fire Red
Gen
and Leaf
pretty
Green.
big?
There's probably gonna be some like cool merch or whatever. They might do like some big event in person. But I can't really think of anything specific that I would guess.
2016 was Sun and Moon, Pokemon Go, and then like the Game Boy games
you know what? They
on
might
the
do another
3DS.
movie. You know, like
Ooh, maybe.
I mean, I know Pokemon's done movies for years, but like I feel like a Detective Pikachu style movie where it's not like an anime movie. There's some sort of like, you know, American kind of Hollywood.
That'd be
Hollywood's
cool.
got its tentacles in it. I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Ryan
something like
Reynolds
that.
is back.
Yeah, right. Ryan Reynolds is Ash Ketchum.
Whoa, and he's all grown up, and he's like, wait,
Or
is
Ryan
like
Gosling is Ash
they
Ketchum.
do the Harold and the Purple Crown thing where he's like grown up now.
Ugh,
Or they do
that
the
movie.
Christopher Robin movie where it's like, you guys remember those like creatures? That was weird.
I think my prediction is they're not going to do anything too crazy. But then at the very end, they're going to be like, hey guys, guess what? Newer Pokemon Snap. Boom. Mic drop.
Is it like a new game or like a Switch 2 version of like new Pokemon Snap?
I don't know. That's the mystery.
Whoa. And then new mystery dungeon. And they bring it all back. Pokemon game. Anything new they'll try or anything weird.
I don't think
heard-
we're going to see it at the Presents.
Okay,
If-
yeah.
Yeah, probably not. But I think there was like a rumor or a leak of like what the gameplay, what the mechanic was. But I like legitimately forgot.
I know that there was one like MMO idea, or maybe like Gen 10 is like the islands one where you like, it's an archipelago where you go from island to island. I think that's what I heard. Something like that.
Dude, honestly, I don't think Gen 10 is gonna change as much as people think it will.
No, but I'm at the very least, maybe not optimistic, but excited about the prospect of a Pokemon game that Well, let me ask you this. Do you think Gen 10 will be a Switch 2 exclusive?
Yes.
Yeah. Because
I
they are
mean-
normally behind.
Yeah, that's true, but
That's true. It's just I can't imagine they want to miss out on the Switch 1 player base. With a
yeah,
Pokemon
you might have
game.
a point there. I guess it's just I feel like
Well, it might have to be the
Nice.
Switch 2 seller.
Now, is there a
Yeah.
Switch 2 edition of the game? I could see
oh yeah,
that.
definitely, absolutely.
Like,
I mean, if
you know,
Yeah, but I think... I mean, I don't want to give them too much credit, but it seems like if you follow the development of these games, their biggest issue is, for whatever reason, they just don't know how to optimize for the Switch 1. So I do kind of want to see what a Pokemon game looks like when it's built from the ground up for the Switch 2.
yeah. I mean, ZA, people said was playable on Switch 1, and I was looking at gameplay. I'm like, I mean, yeah, it's playable, but it's also doesn't look fun.
Well,
to
even
play.
like the Switch 2 edition of that game just makes the game run better, really. Whereas like all of the buildings, like the windowsills, the windows are flat textures. Where when they started development, they were fully modeled buildings. And then very clearly, like you can look at the timeline of updates that were leaked. And there was one update like immediately after where they just changed all of the texture to like one flat image. And it was probably so they could get it running on the Switch 1. So I do think that getting it running on the Switch 1 does kind of hold back any capability of the Switch 2 looking as good as it can.
Yeah.
But maybe that's giving them too much credit. Well, before we jump into our regular Nintendo Direct, I guess we can have a gander over here. At the very least, from the games you guys have played, what would you guys say currently is the best Nintendo Switch 2 game? This might be contentious. Dan?
Air Riders.
Ooh, see, that was the contention I thought. Because I played Bonanza a lot, days upon days upon days. And then when Air Riders came out, as I kept playing Air Riders, I thought, like, man, this might be better than Bonanza. And then I went back to Bonanza to try and, like, get some more collectibles that I missed. And it was instant. Like, I realized how good it feels. Like, I already knew that as I was playing the game, but how satisfying it is. So, I would say, if this is going to be our group list, I would say, I think both an S, but maybe Bonanza above Air Riders, just so
I
it's
can live with that.
Yeah,
I know I'm like the outlier here. I think the replayability of Air Riders is so strong.
Yeah.
And
I
it
will
just
say it's a
feels so
tough
good.
race. I'm just the deciding factor here, and I'll say Bonanza just feels a little bit better. Now, we're going to sandwich this. It'll be easier to fill out the middle. What would you guys say, to your understanding, from everything listed here, is the worst Switch 2 game?
I think
it's not Survival Kids.
That's a high
fuck with
bar.
Survival Kids.
The very best of D.
Are any of these F? I don't know if any of these are F really.
I mean, Jamboree TV.
What'd you guys think of the wheelchair game? Is it offensive to call it the wheelchair game?
It's
probably, but I thought it was
I wouldn't
okay.
call it like an F. I just don't think it was worth all the hype. You know, it's just like, oh wow, mouse mode for this. Okay, what do you have to offer? Oh,
It's
just this. Okay.
I imagine it's a fun. It's like Wii Sports. You know, it's a fun gimmick to play when people are over, but I think you'd be
Not
hard pressed to
really.
find
I mean,
people
you
who
need-
want to play it
don't you need,
online.
like, 8 Joy-Cons if you want 4 people to play.
That's a good point. I don't know. Then like B, C. I guess C.
I still think D, honestly. I was
D.
not
Well, where did you
impressed
put
by that
Nintendo
at
Switch
all.
2 Welcome Tour?
I think that's a low C. I think that game gets a lot of flack that I wouldn't even say is necessarily deserved. I think it's the price point again.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a bad game, but it's also not the most fun game. But it's just it's not bad. I just think if it was like $5 even, people wouldn't be like having so
Well,
much
it's
of a
even
conviction about it.
like if we want to talk about like tech demo games, like even in comparison to like 1-2 Switch, 1-2 Switch is still more of a game. Like this, while it has mini games, is very much like a museum tech demo. It's weird that it isn't built into the console like even outside of like a download code, I feel like it should just come with it. But would you say it's better or worse than Drag X Drive?
I haven't played Drag X Drive, but I think if I played if I played it, I'd probably still be more fond of Welcome Tour. I think most of the complaints about Welcome Tour just has to do with the price.
I think I like Welcome Tour more.
Okay.
And, in regards to it versus 1-2 Switch, like, this is much better put together. 1-2 Switch is just literally, like, video files .mp4, and then one section of, like, oh, here's a controller, you can shake it, ooh, crazy.
Well, I think the appeal of, like, something like the Rumble when it comes to the shaving game or the hide-and-seek game at least, like, does more to sell the concept of the Switch.
I remember playing a little bit of 1-2 Switch. I thought it was pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. It's a fun little party game.
It's fun,
I will say...
like, it's also, like, it's held together by the scenes, is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's a very... It's just, it's lazy, I think. It's a lazy game.
I feel
it's a cash grab game. And this is also a cash grab game, too.
Yeah. I feel like... Hold on, let me... I kind of feel like this... should have its own, because that kind of puts it apart. Best Switch.
Wait, hold on. Wait, now what are you counting as Switch 2 editions? Like, Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, that's Switch 2, but like, is Starcrossed, is that Switch 2, or is that going to be ranked on its own?
That's a Switch 2 edition. So like the Metroid Prime and the ZA I have here, these are the Switch 2 editions.
Well, I'm only asking because they add, like, new content to it. That's why I was asking.
Yeah. Whatever is in the Switch 2 package is the Switch 2 edition.
Okay.
So what's the best Switch 2 edition?
The best one of all of them?
Yeah. I feel like Starcross
I assume it's the Kirby one.
I mean, I think by default, it's going to be Kirby.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because that, to my knowledge, and to be fair, I haven't played it, really. It seemed to be effectively like a whole DLC kind of thing. Like a DLC expansion. Like.
Yeah, it is. And it's fun. It's just, I think they overhyped it a little bit.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, is it like any more expensive than the other Switch 2 editions?
Yeah. Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, those are 10. This is 20.
Oh, okay. I mean, I feel like 20 is normally the price of DLC.
I think it was.
Yeah, that's the worst Switch 2 edition, but we'll wait to put it in there.
I will not argue with that.
I do think Dear Me I Was is F, though. And I'll put Tokyo Scramble in there as well.
That's the closest to F I'd put in F. I did not like Dear Me I Was in the slightest. And, I don't know. I guess, scald me in oil if you think otherwise. But
yeah, I
did not like that one.
We jest, but Chillin' by the Fire is just a campfire simulator. Like, that is all it is.
Yes, but, like, at least it knows what it is. It's not, like, trying to be anything else.
I guess.
And it does, if you're going to do it, I'd say D. I couldn't put an F. Like...
Yeah, that's my thing. Is like
it might be on its sleeves.
It might be too good for F, but like I think Survival Kids is like a better game.
No, I'm not saying like it's better than Survival Kids. I cannot justifiably put it in F because we were told what this game is from the very beginning, and there was nothing held back from this. Like it's very clear, and I mean, maybe once we do the camera, we'll see. Maybe we'll go.
That's
for, like,
true.
S.
We got to
like,
load this shit up. Yeah.
But I think D is fair for now.
Mm-hmm. And I can tell you guys also that Pool Room Billiard, whatever you're thinking, it's pool. It's like it's like 8-Ball. It's one of those mobile games. So like, but pool is fun. I don't know. Bottom of D. It is just pool though. Oh man, now I don't know.
Can you like use the Joy-Cons as mouse mode to like pull back and hit it?
I think so, yeah. I played with the Pro Controller, but I think you can.
Okay, well at the very least there's like that. I mean, that shows some effort put into it. That's cool at least.
Yeah. I think let's do Tourist B. Would you agree that I know that everyone feels very strongly on it. I would still put Mario Kart World in A.
I would put it in.
Yeah, I would. You know,
at core, like it's a core.
I've been playing it more recently. I think, you know, there are things it doesn't have that kind of disappoint certain fans. I mean, like, is the open world really worth it? I can see why some people wouldn't say so, but I think it's still clearly like there's still a lot of cool stuff in the game that, I mean, I don't know. I think it warrants the praise it gets.
Yeah.
It's kind of like my chilling by the fire. I've been playing the open world, like, you know, on the road mode a lot more. And it's just like, it's, you know, just like finding the things. Like, it's not like, this isn't like the fun part. Like, the racing is fun, but just like being able to drive around and do these small challenges and find the medallions. Like, it's just fun to relax to sometimes. Now, I noticed you put Hyrule Warriors in D.
D? I thought it was, I didn't play a whole lot, but what I played I thought was pretty okay. Do you feel differently?
I mean, I haven't played it. Like, I have no opinion of it, but like, I'm so tired of Hyrule Warriors, Zelda Breath of the Wild games. And I think this one is just...
That's fair. I guess I haven't played Age of Calamity. Well, no, I did right before, just so I could say that I played it. But, I mean, I had fun with what I played of it. I like the... I think I just liked Rauru. I think playing as Rauru was really fun, and it made me feel powerful. And it's one that I'm considering going back to playing. But your point with Mario Kart is, like, that's what I've been doing on these Switch days, is, like, loading up Bonanza for 20 minutes, or Air Riders, or Mario Kart World for 20 minutes, and just doing, like, one thing at a time. And then slowly, like, whittling away at it. Well, let me ask you, Dan, where do you think Mario Tennis Fever currently goes?
Honestly, low A. I think that it is such a fun game. Like, it is a fun game. They packed it. You know, again, I think the story mode is lackluster, but I think there's enough good in that where it trumps over the lackluster story mode. It's just so much fun to mix and match, and like, I don't want to spoil anything, but like, when you think you're done with something, they then like hit you with the oh, you're not done yet. But it's not like, oh, there's one more level. No, there's a ton of extra stuff.
Okay.
And it's just a lot of fun. Now, you put Fast in C. I'm curious. I played the other Fast games. I did like those. Why did you put it in C?
I thought it was really fun, but it just, like... There are, I think, 4 or maybe 6 courses. And... if I'm remembering correctly, I haven't played it since, like, the launch weekend. It just, like... I mean, it is worth its price point. But once you've played it for, like, a day or so, you've basically seen everything. But it is really fun. That's my reasoning for C, I guess. And here's... now things are a little complicated, because Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remaster and Yakuza 0 Director's Cut... we have to categorize these by what these specific additions add, like what they change, what they do. I'm sure both of these games are fine, but I feel like these are just like ports of the game for the Switch. And if Yakuza 0 Director's Cut added more cutscenes, that's kind of an issue I have with it, where to the point where there were so many cutscenes that I put my controller down while they were playing, and the screen turned dark. You know, like the screen turns dark when you don't touch the game for a while? That happened during the cutscene. So, like...
in the Metal Gear Solid 4?
Yeah, I don't know. D?
Did you guys see that list the other day where it showed, like, the longest cutscenes in, like, all of video games? I think, like, Xenoblade 2 was, like, I don't know, like the top 5, but I think number 1 was Metal Gear Solid 4.
Was Metal Gear Solid 4 the number? Yeah, that makes sense.
And the bar's, like, 4
times longer. That game is literally just, like, cutscenes the game.
Yeah.
And people love it. And I get it. I think it's
and there were certain, like, famous games that actually weren't in, because, like, there are, like, a few times you need to do, like I don't know, like, scripted boss battles or whatever. I mean, that's why Xenoblade 3 wasn't on it, because there's, like, this one really long, like, maybe hour and a half segment, but there's, like, a couple, basically, like, scripted boss fights, so you're technically playing. But, yeah, the number 1 is, like, Metal Gear Solid 4 with, like, 74 minutes.
That's hilarious.
So this
is
is...
one cutscene, right?
Yeah, just one cutscene, and there's no, like, gameplay in between.
As of February 24th, 2026, where does the GameCube for NSO go?
Can you remind me what games we have right now? I don't
Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, F-Zero GX, A Chibi Robo, Wario World, Fire Emblem Path of Radiant. You know what? There's a list somewhere. I'm gonna. I think I got it for the most part, but.
No, I think you kind of almost got it spot on. I think maybe there might be something missing.
I feel like they launched with 4 games, and I don't remember what the 4th one was.
They launched with 3, I think. Oh, Luigi's Mansion.
Is Luigi's Mansion on there?
Yeah, it is. I played it.
Okay. Yeah, okay. These are the 8 games, yes.
Oh,
Mario Strikers, that's what it launched with.
No, it launched with Zelda, F-Zero GX, and Soul Calibur 2.
Okay.
Then Strikers came out. Then Chibi Robo came out. Then I think
Wario?
Luigi's Mansion came out.
Okay.
No, Luigi's Mansion, then Wario
Right, that was
World,
October.
then Fire Emblem.
Right. Well, we currently stand at 8 games. So where does it fit here?
B.
D?
I think B. I think there's
B,
enough of
okay.
No, B. I think there's enough of a variety.
Switchy, what would you
I
say?
think you can find anything for any.
For which game? Sorry.
Not like a high B.
For the GameCube for NSO currently.
I don't even know where to consider. I mean, right now, I don't think there's like any like super. Well, actually, because of Path of Radiance, I want to put it at like A or S even. But most of the other games are.
Oh, is it that?
Dude, I love
really
Path of
high.
Radiance. It's like my second favorite Fire Emblem game, I think. Well, I don't know. I mean, I haven't played it in a few years, but I remember really liking it. But the other games aren't like super great. I mean, I think it probably balances out to like a B.
Yeah, I think
hold
B's
on.
fair.
Don't disparage Chibi Robo.
You know what's nuts? I was already playing that on original hardware. Like, I was in the middle of playing it when they announced it for the Switch 2. Well, now we have... The rest of these are the Switch 2 editions. And regardless of how I feel about the individual games, because we're talking about the Switch 2 edition.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can all easily agree what the worst Switch 2 edition is. I think it's no-brainer which one it is.
We'll keep that there for now.
Crazy because it's like that one isn't even the word. Isn't even like they provided actual content. It's just it was nothing. It was a nothing burger of what they provided, and it was they hyped it up so much.
It doesn't really work. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, I'm looking at these games, and I definitely enjoy. Like, playing Legend ZA more than Animal Crossing. But, like, what does the Switch 2 edition of ZA add? Is it just, like, graphical updates?
It's just graphics.
I think it's
frame
just
rate.
that.
Like, that's why I said, like, that is, like, the least Switch 2 edition of the Switch 2 editions.
Yeah. It's more just like, oh, we need to also release it on Switch 2. All right, I think... I mean, Animal Crossing Switch 2 edition adds more... modes. It's a game mode that you can only do once every day, but that kind of just is Animal Crossing. I think it adds more features than like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild.
You also have to be careful not to include 3.0 because 3.0 is separate from Animal Crossing Switch 2 edition.
Right, Switch 2 edition is the hotel, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it adds the hotel, and then you can decorate other hotel rooms like twice a day, and then other villagers will show up to your island to visit because they're at the hotel.
Right, yeah.
I would still put that above the Zeldas, and then I guess Legend ZA. Because
Really?
it sounds like the graphical updates
Switch 2
for
edition,
Chronicles aren't even like good graphical updates.
They probably aren't. Yeah.
Well,
All right, put that there.
I mean, like, are we talking about like what they provide, or are we talking about how the game is as a whole?
Well, these Switch 2 editions, I guess what they add from the original experience.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, Jamboree is probably the worst still.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just lame.
So currently, this is what the Switch 2 exclusives are looking like. We still have no Duskbloods or Mouseworks even. I remember hearing about that like at the launch of the Switch 2, and it still doesn't have a release date.
Yeah, Nitrum's still working on that.
Yeah. Are there any other
No,
major?
no Yoshi.
Yeah, no Yoshi. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. That'll probably be closer to the summer. Pokemon Champions, but that's like a Switch 1 game.
And an iOS game.
Yeah. It's weird that there's no Switch 2 edition for Tomodachi Life. You'd think they'd do a Pokemon and just release it the same day. But I can't imagine they're going to add too much.
How is there no mouse mode for that game specifically? That is crazy to me. And it worries me that like if they do a Mario Maker 3, they're like, yeah, there's no mouse mode. Sorry.
Yeah, we got to get to the point where, because like major releases from last year, Metroid Prime and Pokemon, were still Switch 1 games. We haven't quite gotten to the point where they fully abandoned the Switch one, right? Because we still don't even know when Rhythm Heaven's coming out, if it is coming out.
Which is crazy.
Everything else, I think we're a good year or so away from just them only making Switch 2 games, outside of like Just Dance or something. But this is currently where we stand with the Switch 2. We have covered the Pokemon Presents, the new releases on the eShop, Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green coming during the Pokemon Presents, and this new Pokemon Treehouse, I believe that's, that Pokemon Presents coming up, and we put together all these Switch 2 games. But we've been doing something else, something special every week for Switch 2 Ultra, and that has been watching all of the Nintendo Directs in order week by week. Last week, we watched the Nintendo Direct from October 21st, 2011, which was a couple months after the launch of the 3DS. And where we are right now, we're pretty close towards the North American release of the 3DS, like 15 years from that day. We could maybe do like a special episode, like a little 3DS draft where we all pick the best 3DS games. But for
dude,
right now,
I'll be parroting so many opinions I had when I was in like 9th grade. That'd be fun.
yeah. Wait, hold on. It's March something, because it came out February 26th in Japan, and then let's see, when was it worldwide? Find these release dates. 3DS released. North America, March 27th, 2011. So it's almost the 15th year anniversary. But now we're jumping into 2012. The first February Direct, being hosted by Reggie Fils-Aimé, presents Nintendo updates. What are you guys hoping to see in this February 2012 Nintendo Direct? Because now we've gotten the 3DS releases of like Super Mario, I almost said Super Mario Land, Super Mario 3D Land, and Mario Kart 7. The first year of the 3DS, we have those major releases. Even like Pokemon Black and White. I think Black and White 2 was right after. I also want to say, I think last time I said that I have a distinct memory of playing Pokemon Black and White after pre-ordering it on my 3DS. I'm pretty sure that was Black 2, actually. I distinctly remember the day, like sitting in the backseat of my dad's car and it was raining, and playing that DS game on the 3DS, wondering when they were going to show off a Pokemon game for the 3DS. All right, well, this is a 12-minute Direct, second Direct ever, technically. Let's jump into it.
I hope they talk about Zelda's 40th anniversary, because they forgot to do it this year.
Hi there. Welcome to Nintendo
you just started.
America headquarters in Redmond, Washington. And thanks for joining us in the latest edition.
Oh, there's music
of
this
Nintendo
time.
Direct.
It was 9 years
Whether your game system of
Wait.
choice is Nintendo 3DS
14 years
or
ago.
Wii, great games are here now, and there's a lot more headed your way that we can't wait to share with you.
Okay.
First, another addition to the recent string of hits for Nintendo 3DS coming to
All right,
Nintendo
new 3DS on the eShop. Oh, we saw Freaky Forms last time.
To show you new details on the
Oh, hell yeah,
multiplayer
dude.
modes
Kid Icarus
in Kid
Uprising.
Uprising.
I didn't even know this had a multiplayer.
Oh, yeah, dude. People gas that shit up,
yeah,
too.
Bad Tennis. Are you kidding me?
Is
I
this
love
Mario
Bad
Sports
Tennis.
Mix, or is that just Mario
You
Tennis?
chose for the artwork.
I
think that was Mario Tennis.
Okay.
Packaging of
Bad
Xenoblade
game.
Chronicles.
Ooh!
Bad game.
And finally, we'll give you
This is a
news
very-
on a Wii title.
Oh shit, was this? Oh yeah, this might have been like the project. What was it called? Dude, I'm like such a fake
I don't
fan.
know.
The
And with that,
Raindrop or Teardrop.
Is that
Whatever.
Sakurai back there?
that features
Rainfall?
Armadillo in the leading
So,
role.
I think it might have been Rainfall. Yeah.
Has all
Oh,
the
they're
details.
talking about Dylan.
Hi, I'm Bill. from
There he is,
Nintendo
it's Dylan.
Treehouse.
I'm this Bill Trenin,
This is where a lot
bro.
of the hard work happens.
Nintendo used to be
Getting
run by
our
like
games into
someone's
hands of
dad.
fans in North America. Unfortunately, I can't take you inside, but later we'll be able to meet some of the people that help bring
Hey,
these
look, it's the
games to life.
treehouse we saw earlier.
Before that, I wanted to talk a bit about the Nintendo
Is it
eShop
a
for
phone?
Nintendo 3DS.
Okay.
Hopefully, you've noticed that the eShop has been on a roll lately. The critically acclaimed game Pushmo.
Oh!
Oh, Pushmo, baby.
Hey, Freaky Forms!
The 12-bit action of Mutant Muds.
Oh, Mutant
and
Muds is
stylish
great, too. I
swordplay
love
of
Mutant
Sakura
Muds.
Samurai Art of the Sword.
That's a
These
good
great
one, too.
titles and many more have been added to the service in the past few months. And don't forget SwapNote,
SwapNote.
our new free messaging application.
This is all stuff that we saw in the
that
last
lets you
Direct.
exchange
but-
notes featuring full
is this
3D
the one they, like,
drawing, 3D photos,
canned
and
after a
sounds
year?
with friends who have also
Or was that a
downloaded the
different one?
application.
I think that was a different one.
But now, the latest big release for the Nintendo eShop is upon us.
Oh?
Dylan's
Yeah, here it
Western.
is.
This game is a unique blend of strategy and action set in a stylish, old west
Honestly,
world,
it
and
sucks
starring
that we're
one
never gonna
tough
get, like-
armadillo.
a modern
handheld
Dylan.
type games
The action
ever
battle
again.
controls
Oh,
feel
like
great
the
as you
kind of like
use
$20
touchscreen and
thrown,
circle
not
pad
thrown
to
together,
roll
but
into
like
enemies
smaller
and defeat
experiment
them.
style games.
You'll also
Yeah.
mine the ore and
Yeah.
gems
Like, we're never
around
gonna
to
get
improve
those
each town's
again.
defenses.
No.
And
They
to
had-
build
yeah,
up
they had a
watchtowers
whole,
and
like-
equip gun towers out on the plain.
They had a
These
whole
towers will help you in your
branch
fight to protect
of the
villagers and their
building that was just
livestock from
making
waves of
eShop
marauding
games.
enemies called groks.
Yeah.
If you're
Grok?
curious about when you can get your hands on Dylan's Rolling
Grok?
Western,
What did they
I've got good
know?
news for you. The full game is available for
Oh, you
purchase
can get it
in the
now.
eShop right
Yeah,
now.
this is only 2 months
It would
after
take
the
even
previous
talented players
direct.
upwards of 20 hours to fully complete the game.
We
So it
haven't
has a
seen
pretty
anything
significant
new,
amount
I
of
don't
content,
think.
And is one more reason to jump on the eShop Steam train.
Oh, Steam Train.
Hey, John,
Steam?
I know you.
Codename
There they are,
Steam?
it's Steam
Thanks
Train.
for taking time out today to talk to me.
It's good to be here.
Finally, March 23rd, Kid Icarus Uprising is launching.
Okay, that's the
And we,
next
of course,
big
have been
game.
Deep into the localization on this for quite a while. I understand that Masahiro Sakurai is developing the game. And he's obviously the creator of the original Smash Brothers. And what's unique about him is he
Only
finds
the
a way to
original
take
Smash
a seemingly
Brothers.
simple concept and develop layers of depth to that. And
Our first
package
view
it
of
with-
Dark
with
Pit.
a tremendous amount of content.
Man, they would
Can you
just
talk a
shadow
little
drop
bit
an
about
edit.
how he's done that?
You know, the game is, it's so frenetically paced and it's just packed with nonstop
Would you guys describe the
action.
game as that?
And from a content perspective,
You know,
What do you
I
say?
never
Something
played
paced
the game.
frenetically paced?
Frenetically paced.
And one really
I have never played
unique
Kid Icarus
feature of the
Uprising.
game is its control.
Dude, Dan, I'm surprised you haven't. I feel like that's definitely a game that you like knew about when it was really big.
I knew about it, but the thing is, I also heard like,
It uses
okay, is that
the
Metroid?
circle pad in a way
Nice.
that
Yeah, there's like an enemy in this game that looks like
But then also with
Metroids,
quick
and it's like they
slides,
joked about it.
uses that to layer in
I think-
more complex moves, attacks.
I was looking into getting it, but that was around the time that
simple on
like
paper, but there's
the
a lot to
criticism
master
of
there
how
if
the
you put
controls
time into
were.
it.
There's air battles.
Yeah.
land
Kind of really
battles, and
blossomed.
it goes into
I'm like, I
battle.
don't know. Yeah, I can get this, or I
There's
can get
like 9
Star
different
Fox.
weapons.
Around the time
Yeah,
when
I
there
got
was
Star
a
Fox.
second
Each one of
stick
those
peripheral you
changes
could
the
add
way
on
that
to your
you
3DS on the
And they
side.
didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like the controls are kind of crappy, but I mean, fortunately, like it's the kind of game where you can pick your difficulty and stuff. So like, you know, even though it controls kind of weird, you know, I mean, you can still enjoy the best things about the game.
Do you
even if,
think
like,
that's
you
what's
know.
been holding back it being ported? Is the control?
No, because if they ported it, they would have a second control stick and they would just have like it would just control like a normal game. Because the reason it controls so weird is that, you know, the 3DS originally didn't have like a second control stick, so you have to aim with the stylus. So it's this weird kind of thing. Some people would actually map it so that you would aim with the A, B, X, Y buttons, but even that's kind of weird. It's only because of that. I mean, if it was on a modern console, like that would just be the way you control it. It'd control normally.
I like to use.
I mean,
I know.
like they should port
so
it.
in addition
I think it
to
would do well.
6 AR
gangbusters.
Yeah.
I would buy it.
I
Again.
did
Yeah,
own that.
I love this
I
game.
did own that
Stand
stand.
comes
That's
with every
funny.
copy.
I own
I
the
remember
stand. I just
people
don't
thought-
own the game.
Oh, yeah, the charger
Find what's
stand?
right for you. The stand just gives you kind
Yeah,
of
it's
Or is this just a regular
stand?
stand?
No, it's just a stand so
The
you can
multiplayer is
play
something that I'm
because of
really
how the
excited
controls
to
are.
see.
Like,
Wow.
that you can play, so you don't have to hold it.
Did
Now,
it come with the
especially
game, or
since
was that like a
in
separate?
local
I don't-
You had
I
to
think
buy
it was a
that
separate
separately.
thing, yeah.
Damn,
I think it was
that's
separate,
nuts.
'cause I know I had the stand, I just didn't have the
There's
game.
a free-for-all mode in the game, which is pretty self-explanatory.
I
did not know
genuinely
there was
didn't
also
know it at
There's
it had a
team-based mode
multiplayer.
called Light versus Dark.
That's nuts.
I don't know if you've
Between
heard, but
Daniel
also
and Corey.
You can pre-order the game now, and if you
Because
pre-order
I
at
think
select
in
retailers,
2024, that's when Studio
for the
S, Studio
3D Classics
2.
version of
Whoa!
Icarus.
Pre-order Uprising.
Oh yes, NES Classics.
I'm super excited for this game. I'm a huge fan of
Kid
Mr.
Icarus.
Sakurai myself. And
If
I
you
wish we had more
pre-order
time because there's so
Uprising.
much depth
But
to
when
this
Studio
game,
2
but,
Studio S was
thank you for
founded,
your time.
announced, or there were job listings in 2024, which is obviously the
So, Eric, we
subsidiary of
hinted that
Bandai
there's a Mario
Namco
Tennis
that
game
we
coming
now
to
know
the
is,
3DS. We said
you
that
know,
back
Studio
before.
S, Studio 2 meant they
Today it's
were
official.
working
Mario
on
Tennis Open,
Nintendo Switch 2
launching
games.
May 20th.
And there were
I'm
job
a huge
listings,
fan
okay,
of
Mario
Nintendo
Tennis
Switch
Open.
Nintendo
There were
Switch
job
version.
listings for a
This time
3D
it's
action
also
game and a
developed by
2D
Camelot,
action game.
our good friends
Or
there.
just a
You know,
3D
your
game and a 2D
localization
game.
producer, tell me
And
a
we
little
now
bit
know that
about
that 3D game
what
ended
their
up
focus
being
is.
Kirby Air Riders.
it's
We
really
still
a
don't know what that
classic
2D
Mario
action
sports
game
title.
is.
I've also been a huge fan of the series for
But I remember
a long
people
time.
thought that
And
the
part of
3D
reason
action
is
game
because
could be
these
a
are games that
remake
are really
of
fun
Kid
for
Icarus Uprising.
everyone, you know, no matter who you
Yeah,
are.
I remember hearing that.
Unless, you know,
That would've been
they've been secretly working on Smash Bros in the
You're just picking it up for
background.
the first time, it's really easy to play.
Play control in this series has always been really tough.
Oh, that's awful.
Have you guys played this game or no?
No. At least you can hit
it, and I like played it for a couple minutes. I'm like, dude, this sucks.
At least you can hit the buttons, but that touch screen is ridiculous.
The 3DS is the only system where the golf Mario game is better than the tennis Mario
as the shots go back and forth and on, it kind of
like
all I remember is
the only instance of that being the case.
There's definitely some head games.
All I remember is Mario Sports Mix, because that one had that one was developed by Square and had basketball, and I think some Square representation. And I think it's funny that specifically like only the basketball games are Square Enix games, because obviously now the golf and tennis games are always made by Camelot. I think Strikers was made by the Luigi's Mansion team. I could be wrong.
I think it was.
Yeah.
One other cool feature that we have.
They just gotta let Camelot make the Strikers game as well.
And it actually enables you to.
But I think it's funny that the only crossover we get between Square Enix and Mario specifically, outside of Smash Bros, is just basketball.
Obviously, the Mario Tennis series has really, up until now, been about sitting down together.
There was also
and playing together.
Mario RPG. It's literally Mario RPG and Mario Basketball, and that's it.
Yeah. That's why we should they should have Gino in a Mario basketball game. Like, he's not going to be a Mario Kart if he's not Smash Bros. Like, next Mario basketball game, they should have Gino be playable. I think that'd be funny.
They add him and Mallow. Like,
yeah.
What are we doing?
And the AI King Bob-on.
Oh, nice.
And so it's an automatic thing. You're constantly able to jump in and play
this game,
match,
the more I see it, the more pain it
like
brings me.
victory medals.
Like, this is literally.
It looks like the same match over and over again.
You can kind of be a part of.
It's such a boring game.
Player rating.
Yeah.
Trying to build up.
Well, it's tennis.
Have you played the 3DS golf game?
No. That's what I was saying earlier when you said like, "Oh, this is the best Mario Tennis game." I'm like, I'm gonna take your word for it because I've played like 2 of them.
The 3DS golf game is like really good. Not like my favorite, but it's
we
very
asked you to
good.
go to Facebook and vote for the artwork that would wind up in the packaging for the upcoming Wii release, Xenoblade Chronicles.
Man, this was really like fan oriented.
And I'm here to reveal the winner.
Oh, this is like right
Let's
when
take a look.
Xenoblade Chronicles released.
I'm
You're right.
And
Yeah,
this was the
like
one that won
when
the
it was,
vote.
I think it came out this year,
Thanks to everyone who voted.
at least in the U.S.
And
Yeah.
while the polls are closed, the
God, I love that
action
artwork.
is yet to begin, with Xenoblade Chronicles arriving on April 6th.
Okay,
If you
April
ask
6th.
me,
We're in 2012
Classic
now.
Controller Pro is the best way to experience this.
Has Mario Galaxy 2 happened already?
Xenoblade Chronicles is a massive
Yeah.
open-world role-playing experience.
It has to have.
That's
yeah.
just begging for players to dive in and experience everything it has to offer. The game
God,
was
this
met
game
with incredible praise,
looked crazy
as well as
for a Wii
numerous
game.
Yeah.
Game
Well,
of the Year
what was
nominations
the
from
deal with
press
Xenoblade?
when
It like
recently
wasn't
launched
it
in
wasn't
Europe.
ported to
The
North
huge
America?
open-world
It wasn't brought to
experience
America.
and
Okay, and there was
spaces
an
that are
online
larger than
campaign
life
for it.
Are up your alley.
Yeah.
This is the game.
That's why it has
Like a
British
massive
voices.
campaign.
It was only originally released in Europe.
We have one last announcement
Oh!
to share with you today.
One last
And
announcement.
For many of you, we've saved the best.
Dylan's
for
Rolling
last.
Western
The
2.
best for last. This is the
The
one
Super
last
Smash
thing.
Bros. Clash.
If you follow RPGs,
What the fuck?
you know
This is their
that
one
God
last
is good.
thing.
This is the other
Coming
Project
from
Rainfall.
Final
There were like 3
Fantasy
games.
Oh,
Nobu?
Exceed
Oh,
Games.
right. I remember that.
It will be on.
I forget what the third one was.
This year.
How is
Well, what
this
was
the
the
best
what was the
Mario
deal?
Last?
What was the
Exceed
cohesiveness
Games.
of the 3 of them? Why those
The Wii
3?
Adventure
They were just 3
Coming
JRPGs
Great
that
new games for Nintendo
hadn't been
3DS
released in the
will be
US.
launching.
Okay.
And I guess there was just a big
Great
fan,
games
like, you know,
Aside from what we've
push
talked
to have
about
them be.
today, don't forget about Resident Evil Revelations.
Yeah. Europe,
Second
but not the
3D
US
Prime
too.
Edition.
So basically, like
Metal Gear Solid,
really giving them limited releases in the US would have been relatively
And if
affordable, all
Resident
things
Evil
considered. So I think that's why
has you in
it
the
did as
mood
well
for
as it
more
did.
Handheld horror. You won't want to miss the augmented reality.
Fatal Frame?
Oh, I actually got.
Spirit
Speaking of Metal Gear,
Camera,
I
Spirit
got
Camera.
the Metal Gear Solid Collection
Launching for
Volume 1
Nintendo
because they
3DS
announced the
on April
updates
13th,
for Switch.
Friday.
So I'm like, I'm
April
gonna
Oh.
get it now.
Lastly,
Because
beyond the
I got it on
highlights
sale
you've
for like
seen
$20.
today,
I'm like,
full-length versions
might as well.
of
I mean,
many of the
like
game
$20
videos
for those 3
shown
games.
here
Yeah,
are
sure, why not?
available
Which are
on
the
our
games?
YouTube channel and on Nintendo.com.
It's one. It's
including a
1, 2, 3, and then the NES
comprehensive
games.
overview of
Okay.
characters
Solid
uprising
1, 2, and 3?
featuring Mr. Sakurai himself.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's it. Until next time, happy gaming.
Wow.
I haven't played them yet, but I'm like, it's like $20 right now, and now it's like actually good. It looks good. The frame rate's good. Might as well cop it while it's on sale.
Well, that was the second Nintendo Direct. We learned a lot more about Dylan's Rolling Western.
Story.
And now Kid Icarus Uprising is coming out.
Dude,
what were you guys doing in February of 2012?
Dylan's Rolling Western's out yet?
Ooh, what was I doing in February of 2012? I was working on my YouTube series called Club Penguin Adventures. I spent the entirety of that year doing that.
It's my favorite
YouTube series.
I was just about to say
right
that.
Up there with Total Drama Island, not total, but total like TOADAL.
Total Pokemon Island. I had said a thing about Club Penguin recently. I was writing let me tell you guys, this nudes era video that people have requested, the more I write it, the less likely it seems like it's ever going to come out. Like I've been writing for a month and I've maybe covered like 3 days. I happened across
terrible.
Because I was like, okay, well, I want to get as much, like, I want to archive this era as much as I can. So I got in contact with a lot of people, and now I have, like, these hour-long rips of TV, and I'm talking about, like, all the commercials and stuff. It's just a lot.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I do not envy you.
But I gotta do it. I think it'll just be a project I release concurrently for the next 3 years, which is fine. That'll be the thing now. I hope the first one does well at the very least. Huh?
Was Squirrel Boy nudes, or did that just
that was the fall era right before, and I think it had ended by that point. So there are, like, the era I'm in now, it's still in the first week, that a lot of it are just like holdovers from the previous era, and you could tell. Like, there's cardboard cutouts of like Camp Lazlo and
Gym Partner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and those. And Chowder and Flapjack have both, like, started by this point, but we haven't fully shifted into that moment yet. But now I've switched everything around today. I could tell everyone that my plan is for the final Smash Bros. Video to come out on March 8th, which is the date of the Direct where Smash Ultimate was first revealed in the Eye of the Inkling. So it will be, I guess, 8 years after the fact. Is that true?
Yeah.
Is it 8? Yeah, 8 years after the fact. So that'll be done. And I've been writing so many different things all at the same time, and I'm like, whatever. I'll just, like, not push them back, but just double up later. There's a video that I haven't even, like... It's more a concept that I want to see if I can do, and it's the April 1st video. And I have to... I won't give too much away, but there's a lot of stuff I'm working on. February is around the time when I realize the confines of... Like, December I plan out, or I guess late at the end of last year, I plan out the next year, like, oh, this is what I'm going to do. February is normally around the time I realize I can't actually do everything I wanted to do, and sort of scale back. Hat in hand. But you guys are still working on your concurrent projects.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're waiting for American Dad and Total Drama Pocket Tail Island.
And I also have another video that's currently being worked on that's almost done.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, nice.
Well, where would you guys say these videos are right now? From a completion standpoint.
I mean, Pocket Tail Island's been done effectively for 2 months now.
Okay.
It's just a matter of getting the animation.
All right. Yeah, and maybe not releasing it in the middle of February. Gotta find that sweet spot.
No, I'm releasing it as soon as I can. I'll go.
Okay, you're not waiting for the Switchy summer?
No.
Okay.
I made an update. I lost a lot of progress when my hard drive crashed.
Oh, dude. Forgot about that.
Redo a lot. Luckily, I was able to manage to redo a lot in a little bit, but then I really hit that burnout. The past few months have been really demotivating for me. Like,
oh, yeah.
I kind of lied a little bit, like being like, oh, yeah, things are going smooth, things are going great. And I really wanted to be able to catch up, but like just life kept throwing curveball after curveball and just was not working out. And I'm like, I got to update them at some point. I really got to do this because the new season started on Sunday. And because now that's going to be added as well. So, you know, I'm definitely making more progress now than I was before. But it sucks. But in a perfect world, it'll be out in June. And I'm hoping to be able to release some other things as well right after that. But you know, I'm going to have that done very soon, hopefully.
Yeah. I think I had like not an epiphany, but I was getting in my own head a lot, as I often do. I made the mistake on Saturday of like opening up my bank account and looking at my balance, and that is never a good idea. And then I let it bum me out for a little bit, but now it is what it is. You keep moving, and it's one of those things that like as soon as you say it out loud, you're like, oh wait, no, this is nothing, whatever. And like when I work and I work in my room at my desk, like I spend hours editing, writing, doing all this stuff, I kind of get in my own head like, oh, I have these very strict schedules and it'll be really disappointing if I don't like manage to do all this. Whereas like for the most part, people will just, well, for one, they'll keep watching old videos anyway. Like that's most of what they watch. But also like people will, for the most part, are understanding and will just enjoy it when it comes out. And that's why I also like try not to announce everything I'm doing, because then I have to eventually unannounce them when they don't happen. But right now, and I think this always happens at the start of the year, I'm like, oh, I'll write everything at the same time, so I have to do less and less each month. And eventually it just really starts getting to you where I'm sort of rescheduling things a little more. All I can say is that like I categorize things in a list of priorities, and the Smash Bros. Video is the top priority. And even if that is the only thing I release this year, if I'm a completely utter failure and fuck up every other project, it will have been a successful year because I like that video. And I can rest easy in that. I think as a whole, as creators, we all gotta be easier on ourselves, really. But I'm excited to see...
Honestly, I think I'm my own biggest critic, so
yeah.
I 100% agree with that.
Especially when you're writing and you get to the point where you're writing out of necessity and you don't necessarily... I imagine it's the same way with like talking about every episode. Like maybe there's an episode that you're not as interested in and it feels like you're sort of going through the motions. It's like, man, what am I doing? And then you eventually get to like reading that bit and you're like, oh no, I like this. It goes a lot faster when you're reading it, I've learned.
Interesting.
But I'm excited to see both of these projects. I'm excited for this Smash Saga to be done. It's a little bittersweet because it's become this tradition where like around winter time every year, I just focus on the Smash video and there won't be any more Smash Ultimate unless there is.
Smash Ultimate Switch 2 edition.
That's another thing. Like,
cool.
If they announce a new Smash right after I finish this one, then I'll have to like change all of my plans. My plans currently, all the things I've committed to is the Smash video and the Nudes Era thing. If everything else falls apart, then at least those are the things I promised. Those are the things I'll do. But scheduling is a real bitch. But I think, at least for this show, for Switch 2 Ultra, I don't think anything major is happening between this episode and the next. But on the next episode, I think that's when Resident Evil 9 will come out across multiple consoles and the Switch, and then that same week... the Pokémon Presents is this Friday. So next week we'll be talking about the fallout of the Pokémon Presents. I'll probably be reacting to it on stream, but as far as today's installment, this special Treehouse installment, I have been your co-parent, BHultra.
And I have been your co-parent, Switchy.
And I've been your Funkle Dan.
And I evidently don't know enough about Mario Tennis. And I gotta lock in. Yeah. I gotta actually spiritually get with it.
You do.
I'm hanging up. I didn't hang up. I'm hitting the button. The song is playing. And now I'm hanging up. All I really want for Christmas this year. What the fuck did I just type? Sorry for gross noises. Let's see. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so yeah, 2, sorry, 1, and double up at 12, and then 1. Okay. I'm doing the math on if I could just, like, go and get a bev. I need that caffeine in my system. Is it bad for me? Sure. One drink, bad for me. Oh, also, Mouse PI for Hire is delayed to the same day as Tomodachi Life. That is rough.